2, 1. Yes, we are here. Don't think we didn't forget about you. All ready for a bit of a launch? Or a bit early yet, actually. We've still got another 40 odd minutes to go yet. I think we can fill in the time between then.
What, before live? Oh, we're live.
Yeah, I told you we're live.
Yeah, you said that, sorry.
Keep up. Keep up. Don't make me make you sit in the corner.
Hello, YouTube land. Hello,
yes,
tubes.
We do have a casual spaceman. We have a John. We have a Obi-Wan Yonomi. We have Hannah. We have Beyond the Curve. And we have a Peter. And there's somebody else here too. I can't think who that is. Anyway.
It's Skyfly Bride, but I'm beyond the imaginary curve in my name.
Yeah. That was
just I want to say, get your fuck.
No, you just have to say no.
No. Water's always flat. It's demonstrably level. We know the properties of water. That's why I've sat in my shed for 5 years talking the same bollocks because I'm a complete asshole.
You've been waiting to go live to say that, haven't you?
Yes, I have. Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought he was practicing before.
Yeah, I think he was. Yeah. I heard him whispering it. He's rehearsing it. I heard him.
But it is true, isn't it? You have to admit it.
What, that you were rehearsing it? Yeah.
Or that you're rehearsing it, or that you're an arsehole?
All three.
Oh.
I don't think he has to rehearse that, does he?
Shots fired.
What, to be an arsehole?
Hannah's being nasty to me.
I practice that every day, being an arsehole.
Anyway, moving on.
Yes. What were we talking about?
Bushfires in Australia.
Oh yes, we'll do a quick
Filling in the
update.
time.
We'll do a quick update for everybody.
We got rain.
I lost it.
Enough rain to put some fires out?
Yeah, you're rain in New Zealand, yeah, but it's no good in Australia, is it?
Yeah,
New South Wales.
So down in Victoria, we've probably in the last 24 hours, I think we've got about maybe an inch of rain. So
that's not bad. It's good for Victoria.
Yeah, no, look, it's probably enough to quench quite a few of the hotter areas. However, by the end of the week, we're meant to get back up to about 32 to 38 degrees. So yeah, it might be just hot. But the reprieve gives the firefighters a good chance to get in and get a lot of it out. They've now got, I think at last estimate in Victoria, they've got near on 200 Army Reserve members that are down doing multiple tasks from not only just putting in fire breaks, but they've, because Army Reserve members, obviously, they've got a real job as well as doing their army job as well. So we've got people like health professionals as well as veterinarians and engineers, truck drivers and people from all types and walks of life. So they're taking advantage of their skill sets to, especially like the veterinarians, they're helping with the wildlife and all of that type of stuff. Yeah, so hopefully to be honest, by Saturday, we'll have a good indication of where we stand with the fires, I think.
Can you explain exactly what a fire break is and how wide it is for people watching?
Well, look, a fire break, where we are, they normally have them at least, say, about 40 meters wide, 40 to 50 meters wide. In a situation like this, they go for the scorched earth policy, so which basically means they remove everything in that 40-meter wide area that can burn.
Okay.
So they'll generally go back to bare dirt, and they'll push that through, and it can be quite a few kilometres long. So they'll go, 5 to 6 kilometres long, depending on the terrain of the land and all of that type of stuff.
So do they like use bulldozers and like just
yes,
turn the
they'll
land
use
up?
they'll use bulldozers, graders, excavators, absolutely anything that they can use that can move dirt, push over trees. They even use the little bobcats and the skid steer loaders and
Oh
stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
So because they're good, because they can get in between the larger trees that aren't going to be removed. When they do it, what they'll try to do is use a already occurring feature. So be it a path where power lines are, be it an existing road or something like that. It just cuts down on how much work that actually needs to be done.
Oh, obviously, yeah. If you've got the road, so that's part of the fire break.
Yeah, that will become part of the fire break itself. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
So rather than, if you've got a 20-meter wide clearance already from a road that goes through, they'll just expand that out another, 20 or 30 meters wider.
Yes, I've been watching some of the videos, and the heat of that fire can spread very quickly, and even pass over like an 8-meter section in seconds.
Yeah. So the fire breaks are good for when it's more of the grass fire, like the low style fire, which, because we've had rain and stuff like that now, that's more what they'll have to deal with ongoing. If the fire itself's up in the canopy, however, it can just jump so easily, especially if there's strong enough winds around or the fire itself is creating its own wind.
And as you people live in Australia, is this the worst you've ever experienced it, or has it been worse in the past?
Well, the severity of each fire, fire that we've had is central to where it's been. In Victoria, compared to where we're getting it up the lower south coast now, where the main lot of it was, Victoria had it very bad a couple of years back.
So this is like biblical. It's like all over.
Look, so for me personally, this is not the worst I've seen. So I was involved with the 2009 fires in Victoria. Now, in that, there were a couple of hundred people killed. There were thousands of houses lost. There were celebrities killed in Victoria. One of our well-known news presenters was actually killed. There were multiple fire trucks lost during the fires itself. Now,
that was 2009, you say, yeah?
Yeah. So for me, although they are saying that this is the worst fires they've ever seen in Australia, what would make the worst fires? Is it the amount of land that's lost, the amount of buildings that lost, or the amount of lives that are lost? And I think that's
a good point.
where
good point.
You've got to look at it relatively from the perspective of what are you going to use from a measurement? Is property important? Not really. It can be replaced. However, it's heartbreaking for the people that lose it. Is it land? No. Give it 10 years and most of that will grow back again. Is it lives? Well, they can't be replaced. So for me, on a personal level, it's the lives that's most important. And this fire that's going on right now has all the possibilities of hitting the same numbers if it gets out of control. So on that premise, it could be as bad as the worst fires that I've seen without a problem. But at this point, the only thing that's been lost that's bigger than the fires back in 2009 is the land itself.
So you're saying there's more land being lost this time around?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
You know, where the fires are happening within the forested areas, a lot of the trees don't actually get fully burnt. They just mainly get, a lot of them just get scorched, and the flames and the fire just rush straight through. The undergrowth will catch fire, and then that'll start causing more concentrated fire. But the wind will just blow it through to start with, and then it'll start creating its own weather in certain pockets. I'll play. This is only, how recent's this? Can't be that old. It's January 6th. It's the 7th today, so I'm looking for something close.
Two massive blazes burning either side of the New South Wales-Victoria border could now merge into what they're describing as potentially a mega blaze. The two fires are the Corryong fire in Victoria and the Duns Road fire in the Snowy Mountains region. We have reporters either side of the border this morning. Firstly, let's go live to Gabriella Power at the Victoria State Control Centre. Gab, there's real concern about these fires merging.
Danica, the fire burning through Corryong in Victoria's northeast has crossed the border into New South Wales, and it could just be days away from merging with the fires in New South Wales, which would cause a mega blaze between the two states. Now, authorities say if this does happen, they'll need to deploy an aircraft to fly over the area to confirm when these fires have merged. Let's take a listen to authorities now.
The two fires have the potential to merge in the coming days. We are fortunate that right at the moment we have some more benign conditions weather-wise, but as the week continues to heat up, we'll see that minimal rain that we've seen on those fires start to evaporate, and things will reignite in some of those areas, and we'll see those two fires, we believe, merging in the coming days.
There's every likelihood that it will still make its way our way, given the weather conditions that are forecast over the coming days and some of those fire areas joining up. But the close collaboration between us and Victoria means that we're aware of that, we're positioning for that, and we're prepared for that.
14 fires are still active in Victoria, and the reason that number is so much smaller than what we've seen in the past few days is because many of the blazes have already merged. All fires that were burning at an emergency warning level have been downgraded, and there are 13 watch and acts in place. So far, more than 1.2 million hectares of land has been burnt in Victoria, and more than 200 properties have been destroyed. A big focus for authorities today will be to get into isolated communities and to set up communication. We know that there are still 18 isolated communities in East Gippsland. Today, firefighters will be facing milder conditions, and the big concern is for later in the week, where we're going to see temperatures soar again into the 40s.
A busy few days for firefighters as they do prepare for that weather. Gab, thank you for the update. And Stella Todorovic is in Mogo. Stella, the death toll in New South Wales has climbed to 20.
That's right, Danica. A 71-year-old man has been found dead on a property just south of here at Nerringunda. He had last been seen alive on New Year's Eve before his home was cut off by these fires. Authorities were finally able to get inside the property yesterday to assess the damage, and that's when they made the sad discovery. He was found between his car and his home, quite obviously trying to get away from this fire. This brings the death toll to 20 here in New South Wales since the start of this bushfire season, this very deadly and dangerous bushfire season. Tragically, 8 of those deaths here on the south coast and in southern parts of New South Wales in just 1 week, when we saw those fires really flare up just before New Year's Eve and then again on Saturday. RFS Commissioner Shane Fitzsimmons says that crews are still trying to assess exactly how many properties have been lost or damaged, but that number seems to be rapidly increasing.
They're still not completed by no means, but the southeast corner of the state, we're now counting up to just over 600 homes have been destroyed as a result of the fires in the last week or so. So it's a devastating result. It's a tragic result down in southeast New South Wales.
Danica, here in Mogo, the entire town is still without power and roads are still blocked as a result of these fires. Crews will be taking advantage of the more favourable conditions that we are seeing to try to get ahead of the thousands of kilometres of active fire edge that's still burning here in New South Wales. They're conducting backburns and trying to strengthen containment lines ahead of worsening conditions this weekend. It was cooler yesterday. It's already starting to heat up here in Mogo today. So it's just a sign of the warmer weather that is yet to come. So probably quite a nervous couple of days ahead for not just the crews, but also the residents here in Mogo and the surrounding regions.
Another anxious wait for residents. Stella, thank you for the update.
That was super, Terry. Thank you.
Did you catch on to
Good
those
evening.
places?
For days we've been warned it was...
Oh, sorry about that. Did you catch on, Peter, to where they were mentioning the locations?
Yeah, no. Well, so that's all up. Pretty much in the alpine areas. So when they mention the Snowy River, that's up. Well, as I said, it's right on the where New South Wales and Victoria meet. So, but that whole area is very, a high amount of terrain, high hills, and all of that. So, also with that, it's very high in bushland and makes it somewhat very difficult for the firefighters to get in there. So a lot of it needs to be done by air crews and stuff like that using the planes. So rather than putting it out, what they've spoken about doing was controlling the burn where it goes using the aircraft rather than putting it out. So if they control where it's going and it's how ferociously it's burning, they will stop any more fire happening. So basically allowing it to be a controlled burn rather than a out of control fire.
I was quite shocked by the fact that they said 1.2 million hectares of land has been destroyed. That's a vast amount of land.
I worked that out. Syper, can I just make this point if you don't mind? I worked that out. Apparently, it's something like 1.5 times the size of Wales that's been destroyed.
Wow, that's massive.
That's a lot.
So the interesting fact about all of this, though, is unfortunately, well-intended people have made the mistake of not allowing the bush to be cleaned. And when I say cleaned, I mean backburnt during winter for the sake of animals, for the sake of endangered species. And what these people have inadvertently done is lost a lot of endangered pockets of animals through these fires because of the mismanagement of the land. So by not backburning, not preparing large fire breaks and all of that type of stuff, these small areas of endangered species and stuff like that have now been put in a position of being threatened even further because they've completely lost the small pockets of land that they used to be in.
Peter, just a question. I think you mentioned the other day that there's been some firefighters from the States have been taken on. Is there any other firefighters from different parts of the world joining in and helping, or what's?
From what I understand at the moment, the New Zealand firefighters were either arriving in the next 24 hours or something along those lines. Generally speaking, in the past, we've, between us and New Zealand, we'll go back and forward helping each other out in situations like this. You know, we really do treat, as much as we hang shit on each other straight out, you know, we are brothers, and we've always had each other's backs when it comes to situations like this. California and us have always had a high respect for each other's fires and firefighting. We've always helped each other out when needed. So I'm as I'm aware now that the American firefighters are actually in country. You know, it's the thing is, and realistically speaking, with a fire this large and how big it is on the ground, we can have all of our firefighters work bloody hard for a week. By the end of the week, they need some respite. But the thing is the fires are still burning. And you need to, in all intents and purposes, sub people in and out so that everyone gets the enough of a break so that they can get back into it and just keep going.
Any Brits?
Not as yet, not that I'm aware of. But look, I'm sure if this continues on to next week, they'll probably be looking for anyone that's willing to fly over and help out.
Well, going by the latest reports, a crew of firefighters from the United States are heading, and some experts from Canada.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's.
And I think when we were talking to Punchy the other day, you know, once again, Canada's one of those regions that, you know, we've helped them, they help us. It's just one of those mutual obligations that we've always done. So the best thing about it is, like, when we've got fires happening, they don't, and when they've got fires happening, we don't. So the same as pretty much California normally as well. So, you know, it's
Oregon too has sent about 100.
Yeah, and like, America's always been very good with sending equipment and people to help out in situations like this. I think the very first time that we saw Elvis, the sky crane, come over here, it was on loan straight from America, and now look, they've got a fleet of them that are basically set up so that all they have to do is pick up the firefighting pod, and they're ready to go wherever they're needed throughout the world. So, you know, it's things like that they're the things that save the property. They're the ones that save the houses and stuff like that.
Just to give a scale of time of how long this has been going on, when did it first start for people that haven't been following this?
As in just this fire, or in general?
These fires, this fire.
I think it started just before New Year's, like the weekend before New Year's or something like that.
Yeah, there's audio playing. So the fire started just before New Year. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a few days.
Yeah, but
I'll speak to my mate Boris. We'll send a few firefighters over. I'll speak to him. Don't you worry. I'll sort him out. Me and Boris are like this, you know.
And like, realistically, you know, when it comes down to it, all said and done, the state's way of fighting fires, although they're not the same as ours, they deal with similar conditions, and because of that, their tactics and their way of dealing with things somewhat mesh with the way that we deal with things. So once you get the teams of, like, New Zealanders, the Australians, and everyone together, it all makes a pretty good team.
Yeah, I'm just looking up to see when it first, where and when did it first start. I'm trying to find.
Up in Queensland, we had some pretty big fires a few weeks ago, but that pretty well got under control. But, it's keeping a good look on it at the moment. She's dry as a bone up here, mate.
So the audio's gone really quiet.
Oh, that was
it's
John.
me.
That's John. Just trying to. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for, Peter. Just trying to find some.
I remember it was before New Year, wasn't it? It wasn't Christmas though. Christmas Day didn't happen. So it's probably the 28th, 29th of December, maybe. Let me find that page. There it is.
20th of November, that we had a large fire broke out in York Peninsula.
It says New Zealand's been sending firefighters to Australia since last October. Now it's a total of 179. It's a shame we don't have a bigger population here, so we can send more. But people in New Zealand here, it's everyone you talk to mentions the fires. We feel pretty,
You're in New Zealand. You mentioned fires. You don't have fires in New Zealand, though, do you?
No, but just the fact that we do rib each other, and we have jokes back and forth between Australia. But right now, everyone you talk to, everyone have you heard about it? Isn't it devastating? What I mean? It's just everyone, the Australia is on the minds of New Zealand people at the moment, and we're happy to help. I'm proud that we can help in the way we can. It's just a shame we don't have a massive population here.
So Friday, November 8th, 95 fires burn across the state with 17 at emergency level. The most affected regions were mid-north coast and northern tablelands. That was Friday, November 8th.
Yeah, because it was quite small. It wasn't popular news, was it? So
these were just small outbreaks that started off.
Yeah, small ones. Yeah.
Well, watching the BBC News, I mean, they're not really reporting a whole lot on it. To be perfectly honest with you, it's I mean, at the moment, obviously with us with Brexit and all the rest of it, that always seems to be at the top of the news things. But yeah, BBC, ITV, Channel 4 be reporting it probably the most than anybody else.
This is the UK. This is the UK.
Yeah. I live in the UK, so yeah, it's not a massive amount. I would have kind of expected, really, considering the veracity of it at the moment. Yeah.
Which is by Sunday, the November 10, that was 6,000 of them already. By November the 10th last year.
Wow.
So we're also sending, this is 44 minutes ago, we're sending Defence Force helicopters, and the Defence Minister said it's important to help them. They've got a huge challenge they're facing, without a doubt, and I think it's really important for us to be there supporting them and helping them in any way we can. I've got enormous respect for the capability of our Defence Forces, having been a past minister. So he's a spokesperson for the defence.
And I think that's. I was just going to say, I think that's a really good point. Like that shows, the like I said before, it's the brotherhood that Australia and New Zealand share. Like when they had their big earthquakes and stuff like that, we sent over people to help.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
We've always, like I said before, although we do culturally hang shit on each other, we've always been there for each other, no matter what. And when a situation arises like this, we're straight on each other's doorstep saying, how can we help?
Yeah, well, remember, our ancestors bled on the battlefield together, so it's just all part of it, So And I know that, you know, if anything did happen here in New Zealand, you know, Australia would be here to help as well, you know. So
Terry, just to let you know that SpaceX have just gone live and they're launching in about 11 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, I was just asking the outside chat to keep an eye on things too while we were talking.
Yeah, yeah. SpaceX are live now, but as I said, launching in about 9 minutes. I mean, like I said, you could just mute the sound.
Yeah, the
And
sound's
then, you know,
muted.
about a minute before. Yeah.
I just wanted to say, Terry, I can't feel the heat from them fires, just like I can't feel the spin of the Earth, because I'm a long way away from it. Because the Earth is massive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
The
goes
Earth is
without saying.
so big.
Yeah, but I'm breathing in the smoke.
Well, because you're there. I'm not there, but I can't breathe in smoke.
It's all right. We're sending heaps of that smoke over to New Zealand anyway, because we don't mind sharing.
yeah. Bring it over here. We can take some.
And if there was a dome, all that smoke would accumulate and spread over to Britain and Australia, America, because of the dome.
Well, that's a very good point. You know, like wouldn't the smoke in a dome work exactly the same as like steam in a pot? So
Yeah.
it would all collect up on the lid, and then it would all, you know, end up there. So if the dome is somewhat of a thing, wouldn't all this smoke stain the dome?
Yeah, and we'd have been dead years ago.
But
Yes.
maybe the ether fairies slide open the vents. I've been thinking about this.
I heard it was getting
No,
that bad in New
don't forget.
Zealand. I heard it was getting that bad in New Zealand. You had a shortage of face masks, and you all had to start wearing sheeps.
Sheepskins, yeah, you're right.
Wasn't it?
It's actually
what a
switched
flat?
and changed now. It's on the North Island, and Auckland's all complaining about it. You know, it's like, yeah, we already had it here in the South. You know, you fools. Yeah. So.
Oh no, didn't I?
No, I think didn't somebody mention one flat Earth mentioned something about the dome has got windows or something, isn't it, or something like that?
Oh, where
So,
the
yeah, they
water
just
comes in from the floods. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Apparently, they just it vents out all the gas pressures and smoke and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, you know.
Yep, it's
let's use our common sense.
Dependent on the amount of unicorn farts in the atmosphere, whether they.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they'll let a few of the unicorn
yeah.
farts out, stuff like that.
Exactly.
And particularly sheeple's farts, especially. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, want to get them out of the atmosphere. But no, we've had a little bit of blue sky today, but it was quite cloudy before.
The thing that winds me up is Dow from Beyond the Imaginary Curve says your eyes deceive you and they make it look curved.
Yeah.
But the fact is, the Earth is the same shape for a blind person, so it's nothing to do with your eyes. The shape of the Earth has nothing to do with your eyes. So Dow, get that out of your head, mate.
But he said, you know, the eyes are an oblate spheroid. That's why we see curved. But what happens when we look at a straight line? Why isn't it curving?
No, my point is a blind person lives on the same planet we live on, and it's the same shape for them. So your eyes have nothing to do with it. And he wants to remove the fluff, and he includes this fluff in his own chats, and that's why he's a hypocrite.
Yeah, but you know, for a blind person, the Earth is a shape. They don't know what it is. They can't see it. But the idea
that's not the point. The point is, it's nothing to do with your eyes.
Possible.
Well, yeah. I mean, it doesn't. We can all shut our eyes, and the Earth doesn't change shape.
That's true.
Oh, we've got no sound coming from there.
It's a bit like the old tree in a forest routine. You know, if a tree falls in the forest and no one's there to hear it, doesn't make a sound when it falls. Well, you could turn that completely around and said, if there's a basketball in a stadium and no one's in that stadium to see it, is it still round?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I like that.
Oh, we've got a T-minus 6 minutes countdown, so...
Oh, don't forget when they rotate, these new rockets, they rotate before when they take off, because that takes away the 3-axis rotation. And they only have to concentrate on 2 axis then.
Mm.
No, 1 axis actually. Pitch.
So casual.
No, still there's pitch and yaw.
Yeah, no, but they only rotate, so they only have to take care of pitch to do the gravitational turn.
Okay, yeah.
Just pitch alone because it's easier. Simply that, really.
What is a Starlink? What is this about? Is it a satellite?
Starlink is the name of the rocket.
No, it's not. No, it's not the name of the rocket. No, that's the Falcon 9. The name of the rocket is a Falcon 9. Starlink is SpaceX's answer to supply a low latency, high speed broadband basically across the globe, together with a system of what do you call them, transponders. I don't know if that's the right word. So they're by the end of this year, they're looking at launching somewhere in the region of about 1,300 of these. So what they do is they launch. They're tiny little things. They're not much bigger than a suitcase until the solar panels open up.
Hang on, guys. Professor Phil, are you over in Discord? Can you hear us?
Professor Phil, awesome.
Yeah, he's hanging over in Discord. He's just got himself muted on. He's got the key to the special place, but as long as he knows we're going live, he can come in.
I still can't.
Professor Phil is cool.
I still can't find someone to debate him. It's almost like they run away the moment they realize it's a real thing.
Professor Phil knows all about satellites.
Yes, indeed.
Professor Phil, Earth calling Professor Phil.
You got to speak like.
Yeah. So anyway, in total, what they're looking at doing is they're launching something like about 12,000 of these things by the mid 2020s, with the possibility to extend it to 42,000 by sort of mid 2030s, early 2030s.
Casual spaceman. If I was Arwin, I would say, how could they all operate in space without colliding?
Aha! Well, there you go. That's a good question. Actually, I'm glad you asked. Each of those little satellites has got its own little thrusters. Okay, so what it does, it's launched. It's kind of like a block, if you like, and they're just released and they separate naturally. And then what happens is they've got their own program. They then get themselves into the right orbits they're programmed to do. And they just stay in orbit. Orbital mechanic keeps them there most of the time. So what happens is when they come to the end of their natural lives, which is what most satellites do, they have an automatic system where they're actually deorbit themselves. So rather than staying up there for years to naturally decay, they will then deorbit probably in a number of days or weeks. And 95% of the material will then burn up in the atmosphere.
Yeah, I wasn't picking on you. I was making
No. It's a good question. I'm glad you brought it up.
I was making the point of the fact that I am a pilot and I fly an aircraft. I don't normally go above, like sometimes go to 10,000 feet, but sometimes I don't see an aircraft for the whole of the flight. And there's thousands of aircraft in the air. I don't see them.
Yeah. But if you are...
Because space is big and the atmosphere is big.
Yeah. But if you were Arwen, you'd ask the question, then walk away and then come back after it's been
yes,
answered.
I know you're here.
Ask the question
I know
again.
you're not talking.
Terry, yeah, it's about 2 minutes to launch. Personally, what I'll do is I'll put the audio on if you're able to.
Yeah, I've got I can do both.
Terry, Red's actually live as well. If you wanted to use his footage as well,
could watch that afterwards, maybe.
T-minus 10. Oh, sorry, actually, it's 2. Actually, 2.
No, yeah. Let's let the commentators do the count.
Brian.
Stage 2 lock loads closed down.
Oh, Hannah's going to tell me off.
Vehicles on internal power.
It looks like the main footage is better than Red's, but it's pretty cool. Having the two anyways.
Can you go full screen, Terry? In here?
You'll probably find Red's will launch, or Red's video will launch before SpaceX's.
Yeah. Oh, Red's, he's brilliant. He gets all the great stuff.
Yeah, no. Wasn't it telling when he did the latest ISS transit, and he was meant to get IPS Infinite Plane Society to come, and he didn't turn up. Like, oh, isn't that interesting?
I
Falcon 9 is in
didn't
the
believe
startup.
the space. I didn't. Oh, sorry, I won't talk now because it's starting.
Yes, this is a Falcon 9 that's
Go for launch.
Very, very reasonable.
Ooh-wee.
Can everybody in the stream see it full screen? Can they?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, just wasn't sure.
T-minus 30 seconds.
Ooh, it's 30 seconds. It's small on the Zoom screen though. There.
This is
So
a
are you
lot.
able to make it full screen on here?
You have to do
Taking
that
off
yourself.
the-
You have to do that
T-minus 10
yourself.
seconds.
All right. Okay.
But we're seeing all of your screen.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition, liftoff. Go Starlink, go Falcon, Space Force inaugural launch.
Hey! Wow.
Give me a balloon for my ass.
Very
That's
old.
a nice shot.
The earth is flat from that scene. Look, you can see a flat pit.
That is wicked.
We are T plus 45 seconds into liftoff, and we have just had liftoff of our Falcon 9 vehicle carrying our Starlink payload. In just about 15 seconds from now, we will be passing through max Q. This is the largest aerodynamic pressure that the vehicle will see throughout ascent.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And we've got an awesome view of liftoff right now.
Thank you.
It never gets old.
Vehicle is passing through maximum dynamic pressure.
And we just heard that call out for passing through max Q. Now, coming up in about a minute will be a rapid succession of events. Main engine cutoff, or what we call MECO, followed immediately by stage separation and SES1, which is second engine start. Now, MECO is where we shut down that main engine on the first stage booster to allow the vehicle to slow down just enough to separate from second stage.
You hear engine chill there. They're chilling down the second stage engine, ready to
If you're
fire
just
up.
now joining us, we
So it
have
needs
an
to be chilled
awesome
down.
onboard view of our vehicle Falcon 9.
Look at that.
Look at the big flame where it goes out of the atmosphere and it expands.
And in about 30 seconds will be those
it's not
three
flame,
events:
that's
MECO,
exhaust.
main engine
Not
cutoff,
flame. Well, yeah.
stage
It's okay.
separation, and SES1.
But it doesn't happen low down, does it? It only happens when it gets really high.
Well, what's actually happening is, you still get exhaust when
Whoa.
it starts off, but obviously as you further go up, you've got less pressure. So you've got less pressure for the exhaust to expand on, so then it can expand out wider.
So
as the
how
further you
long
go up.
before it hits the dome?
Here we go. Here's
And
me.
there
Here's
is
me
MECO,
going
MECO.
now.
as you saw those
Shit.
engines shut
There you
down.
go.
Stage separation confirmed.
Yep. There you go, and that's the second stage engine firing up now. So that's
And
like
there
quite
is
exactly
stage
a rated engine.
separation and second engine start. You can see that second engine on your right screen glowing bright red. Now in about
Yes.
20 seconds we will have fairing deploy, and we should be able to see this on our screen as well. And on that left screen there, you can see the grid fins. It's a bit dark on the East Coast right now, so
Is it
hard to
dark
see,
over
but we
there?
did see those
Why,
grid
it's
fins
sunlight
deploy.
here.
That's wicked.
Well, it's always dark somewhere, Terry. Let's face
It's
it.
dark. It's dark there, yeah. I'm
There
just
you go. There's
thinking,
the
Fairing separation.
there's the fairing
And
deployed
there
around the
is fairing
around the
deploy.
satellites.
So as Lauren mentioned
The flat
earlier,
earth
we will be
looks like
attempting to catch one of the
TTI,
fairing
looks like
halves on our recovery
TTI.
vessel Mystery, but we will not be able to show this live, so check in with our social media for updates.
Okay, how you guys going?
Hey,
Hey.
Phil.
Hey,
Alright.
Professor Phil.
Need any help?
Ah, it's beautiful.
Good.
Acquisition of signal Bermuda.
When you have stuff like this, how
I
can you
don't
have
need.
flat
I don't need
earthers?
the sound from there.
That is beautiful. Now, there are a series of events coming up with both Stage 1 and Stage 2 before we reach our parking orbit.
I'm looking
and
for
enter
the
that
ferret.
first coast phase.
Anyone see a
The
ferret?
first is the Stage
Yeah, I
1
reckon.
entry burn. That is when Stage 1 is re-entering the Earth's upper atmosphere. It will reignite 3 of its Merlin 1D engines in order to slow the vehicle down as it re-enters so that it doesn't break apart because we want to land it. That burn's going to last for just under 20 seconds or so, and at that point, the burn will end. You'll hear the call-out entry burn shut down. A couple minutes after
Miko.
that, we will
Miko.
see our Stage 1 landing burn.
No,
That is where we will
Miko's main engine
reignite
cut off.
one
It's
engine,
not
E9.
latest
It's that
Miko.
one right in the middle.
Second
And it's
stage
going to
was Seco,
burn
if you
for
wanna call it
just
anything
over
else.
20 seconds.
It's not
and
a mouse,
hopefully
Mr.
leave
Victory.
Stage
It was a
1
ferret.
standing up nice and tall on that drone ship. But at the very
Second
same
stage on
time,
nominal
Don't start. Don't
I
even
just
start.
heard second stage is on a nominal trajectory. That's really good news.
It didn't even look like a ferret,
And
let alone
speaking
a
of
mouse.
second stage, right
That
as
was
the
a
drone ship
raccoon.
lands, you
Oh,
hear the
raccoon,
call out for
was it,
Seco
though?
Not
1.
even a
That's where
raccoon,
we
I'll behave.
shut down the second stage engine to enter that coast phase.
It was Rocky Raccoon.
Rocky raccoons. Yeah. Deformed.
Water's always flat.
No, it's not.
So far, stage
Get your
2's
ball.
trajectory
Get your
continues to be
ball.
nominal. Stage 1 has also drifted up to its highest
Oh
altitude
no,
and is now
Phil
beginning
can't
its
listen
descent.
properly because he's got students in front of him in the exam.
Oh,
Oh no!
cares about the
That's that image
students.
over to the left. That's the outside.
Quiet.
Oh, dark in space.
We promised to be good. We won't swear. Damn
Is
it.
that a Cortina, that car?
They can't see what you're saying, Sky5 by so
Oh, sorry,
not much
okay,
talk,
sorry, I
what you're
won't.
talking about it, to be honest. So,
Right, in about 10 seconds, you should see that entry
concentrate on the
burn
launch.
start on your left side.
Yes, it's saved.
I think we're watching a launch, aren't we, Casual?
yeah, I think we might be. There you go. That's the entry burn.
Startup.
Go. There it goes.
Yeah, that entry burn does two things. It not only just slowed it down, what it does, the exhaust from it and the what have you actually creates kind of like a shield, if you like, to protect it from the worst of the thicker atmosphere.
All right.
Stage 1 entry burn
Know
shut
what the
down.
speed it's going.
And we just had a good
So at the
shutdown of
moment,
that entry burn.
it's going at well
Meanwhile,
above
the second
supersonic
stage
speeds even
continues
at
at
the
full
moment while
power
it's
with over 200,000 pounds of
so you can
thrust.
see the
Thrust. She said
plasma
thrust.
jets as
She
it
said
goes down.
thrust.
That's a lot of thrust.
That's the vacuum
Alright,
engine
looks
on the
like we
right hand
lost
side.
signal,
So
but
we
that's
lost the link
fine.
for
We
the
should be acquiring it
first
again
stage
soon.
coming into land.
Now, stage 2 continues to burn, taking those Starlink satellites to their first parking orbit. Stage 1 is coasting down, steering its way using those grid fins down to the drone ship. At about T plus 8 minutes and 3 seconds, right around there, you're going to see that landing burn start. and
Stage 1
hopefully-
entry transonic.
Oh, and as you just heard, we've just gone transonic on stage 1 as it's making its way back down to the drone ship.
Hopefully we'll see stage 1 land with any luck.
Yeah, cross your fingers.
So the atmosphere is
That's the
actually
bit I get most
slowing
excited about, not
the
the
vehicle
launch.
down.
I
Stage
love
Oh,
one,
that.
absolutely.
It's
Well,
now
Ca-
in
ca-
progress.
casually, you got the
Coming
phone
down to
about
the
2
thicker
inches
parts.
away from your face so you can see
That's
it in
what slows the
detail.
vehicle down.
I have actually come to think of it, yeah.
Stage 1 landing burn startup.
Yeah, I get really excited by that. Here we go. Oh, please
Alright.
land. Come on. Keep the picture going as
You
well.
can see that
Come on,
light on the left.
hopefully.
Stage 1
Stage 2
making
is
its
under
way.
terminal guidance.
Here it comes. Come
Here
on,
it comes.
land,
Yeah,
baby,
it's
land.
Stage 1 landing like
Alright.
deploy.
Come on, baby, come on. It's landed. It has. Yes.
And yes!
Yeah.
We have another landing.
Wow.
This is the 4th landing of this vehicle and the
That's what we
48th
like to see.
Falcon 9
Yeah,
first
little
stage
puppy.
landing today.
Yes.
It was awesome. We got video
That's
the
why
whole
we can
time. That was
forgive for
cool.
that, I think.
All right,
It's
stage
amazing
2
how they
is
can
still
get
doing
a
work.
plonk on there like that.
Seco should be coming
Can't
up
get
any
a
moment.
bullseye every time.
Yeah.
But I mean, for landing on the barge, they were having a bit of difficulty for a while. They weren't getting any successes, but they've been
And we
doing
just,
quite
we
regularly.
may have lost
now,
video,
so-
but we've heard confirmation of Zico.
Came below as expected.
I mean, who would ever
And
think
let's
that
listen
far
to see if we're in a good
off
orbit.
It's crazy. You know what I mean? It's like
All right, and GNC has confirmed good
throwing
orbital
a bottle in
insertion.
the air and then just
Now with that, we're about to
blowing it
enter
down.
a coast phase,
I mean,
so we're going to take a quick break,
way
but we'll be leaving you
way
with this
Elon
cool
Musk was
animation
saying
that
was
you
that-
visualize where Falcon and the Starlink
Yeah.
satellites are on orbit. We'll be back at about T plus 44 minutes for a second stage relight, followed by another coast
Newfoundland
period, and
acquisition
then
of signal.
deployment of
Yeah,
the
it'll
Starlink
be a
60
while now
satellites.
before they deploy, so there'll be another burn or two, and then a few more minutes, and then they'll deploy the satellites. Then, so
That's
there's
awesome.
not much to see at that point. Yeah, but I mean, what you were saying there, Sheeple, the way Elon Musk worded it was that, you know, you get in an airplane, you don't expect when you get to the other side on the airplane, wherever you're going to, for them to actually then throw it away. You know,
Yeah.
so that's his argument. You know, so why not, you know, reuse it? And as it stands at the moment, they've got, I think, at least one core stage at the moment that's been used 4 times that is still active. And you've got another, I think, 3 that have been used 3 times and several that have been used twice. So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Amazing
this is
how
why
fast
they're
they get
this
up
is why
there.
they're going to be. What's that? Sorry.
Well, I just said it's amazing how quickly they can get up there.
Oh yeah, it's low Earth orbit, so it's
Well,
not.
it's not that far to outer space.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to take a plane that takes me that far away from Earth to come back though. You know? I mean, like it's like unnecessarily high for this airplane ride. You know what I mean? So the idea that
Yeah.
it's a different, you know, equating the rocket travel to a plane flight. You know, so, you know, the plane has wings which, you know, direct it. You know, this is just like a falling bottle. You know, and then it fires its rockets at the right time just to come. You know, it's incredible. I mean,
These ones I think are being launched at about 340 kilometers altitude, I think, give or take. At least I think so. I'm not 100% sure about that, but it's either 340 or 550 kilometers. I'm not sure which, because they're doing different altitudes at the moment.
so it's inside
yeah.
the orbit of the ISS.
Yeah, well, ISS is about 430 something, isn't it?
Yeah,
So,
that's what I'm saying.
around that. Yeah.
That's kilometers, not miles.
Average is
So
about
if you think
417.
You said kilometers,
so then
I said inside.
417. Well, it ranges to between 417 and 430 something, doesn't it? I think.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
So what I was going to say, forgot what I was saying now.
I think it's amazing that the flat earthers don't even understand any of this.
Oh, they do. They just ignore it.
I was speaking to a flat earther. I was speaking to a flat earther the other day about the ISS, and he said to me, I said to him, well, "What about the ISS
Bermuda lost
transit?
signal expected.
You can clearly see it, you know, and you don't need NASA to show you. You can just get a good telescope and a good camera and some tracking software." And he said, "Well, it's up there, but there's definitely not people in it." I said, "Well, how does it keep going around?" He said, "Clearly, it's German technology."
I won't argue with that.
I was just like, what? It's like, okay. I say, who refills the rocket? Oh, you know. It's just like, no. Please explain. That was MG42 pillbox who said that.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, no.
It gives me a headache.
Oh, big time.
How come I can't see the stars?
I don't know. It's because it's a little bright.
Maybe they've not got the exposure set on the camera correctly enough to see the stars.
Bobby
I know that.
You got to accept that those cameras are not much better than half
Oh, look,
decent
that picture's
GoPros.
got
Really,
stars in it, Terry.
That one's got stars. There you go.
Stars in it.
There you are. There's the stars.
Bobby forgot to turn the LEDs on last night. All right? So give him a break.
They didn't turn on their flash.
That's the moon. Look, the moon's in the background.
Yes.
That's not a
Phil,
moon.
I
It's a light in the
noticed that you
sky.
I noticed you had a different avatar.
It's a hologram. Who did?
Professor Phil.
It's orangutan.
Oh, it's Professor Phil here. I can't see him.
Yeah. I'll pin his picture.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there he is. He's the gorilla. Yeah, oh, sorry, the orangutan.
The other week we had the other week we actually had the moon set probably about an hour after the sun set, and up until the moment that the moon, the sun set, you couldn't see the moon, like because of the brightness of the sun and all of that. You couldn't see the moon, and then all of a sudden the sun set, you could see where the moon was.
So we've got a Christopher Topper.
Oh, hey, this is.
Second.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
This is. Sorry,
Hello,
this is
Christopher.
Survivor. I don't know why it's showing. Let me fix that. I was trying to log in so it would show my avatar, but now it's showing my real name.
Well, you got an avatar.
Got an eyeball. He's
Yeah.
spying at us.
The upper right quadrant of my face. I gotta fix the name though. Hang on.
Yeah, you can put it whatever
Just
name you
one eye,
want.
That's Masonic. That's Masonic.
Yeah, you can have whatever name.
Or no name. Ha!
Yeah, no name. That's original.
Oh, no
that
name's
is.
here as well. I just
Yeah,
noticed
yeah,
him.
yeah, that's an original name. No name. I wouldn't have ever thought of that one.
There is the lunar eclipse on the 14th of this month, but it's only a penumbra eclipse. So most people, even though it's a viewer from the UK, they probably won't even notice it because it's only going to go slightly dimmer.
Oh, look at that. The Earth looks round to me.
It looks flat. It looks flat with some lines on it. Nathan Oakley will say that's flat.
Yeah, but that's CGI.
Oh, T
I mean,
minus 1532.
No, plus.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I misread that. Sorry.
It's the other way round now.
Is that what T minus means? Before the
Yes.
launch?
Yeah, the T minus
Okay,
and then T plus is after.
Okay, we're learning space stuff now.
So T0 obviously is the moment of launch. Yeah. Sometimes on the moment of ignition, depending on where you're talking, like Ariane space, is the moment they actually ignite, but it's not. And then quite often it's like 3 seconds afterwards they'll actually launch, just by the way they ignite their engines.
It must be really hard to be a flat earther, not believing in rockets.
So what's the other?
Positive signal expected, Newfoundland.
So what's the details in the left corner? The speed and the altitude.
Velocity and altitude. You don't say speed in space. It's
Oh,
velocity
sorry,
and
yeah,
altitude.
velocity.
But yeah.
Oh,
That's all right. Sorry.
Sorry. Jeez.
I'm being pedantic.
I know.
Yeah,
It
velocity
says
and altitude.
Speed, though.
How dare you?
Oh, does it? It shouldn't.
Good Millie acquisition.
I'm only saying it because I've been told off for saying speed. We're talking about these as well, so I'm like doing the same thing now.
That's what you get with a stoic spaceman.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, fair dues.
He had to verbalize, but if we were sitting in front of him, he'd just give us the look and be like, "Oh, right.
Shut
Velocity.
So the two orbital lines, or the line we can see that one dot represents where it is now, and the other one was where it landed.
Yeah.
First
That would be
stage?
the other dot. That would be the other dot where the second stage landed.
Okay.
Sorry, not the second stage, the first stage.
First stage, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. So the second stage, they can't recover that at the moment. That's just obviously birds up in the atmosphere.
Oh.
I mean, the velocities are just too high to do it because it just means that they'll have to provide some sort of protection. Because second stage, obviously the velocity is going much higher than the first stage was to re-land it, and then of course they have to carry extra fuel, which means extra weight, so which means more power, and all kinds of different things, all kinds of problems. And they had different ideas about having like a giant inflating heat shield and all kinds of different ideas, but thing is that eventually, Falcon 9 is going to be obsolete anyway once they get Starlink running. Up and running and being used commercially, Falcon is going to be obsolete. So at the moment, as it stands at the moment, SpaceX are quite happy just to dispose of the second stage. So
Space junk.
yeah, more space junk. No, actually, the second stage does the orbit fairly quickly.
Who's mashing their keyboard? Oh, Terry.
No, it wasn't me. My keyboard don't sound like that.
And I'm not because I've got my computer.
Yeah, you can't
I've
blame
got my
casual.
computer.
Definitely
And
can't
it's
blame
this time.
casual.
And it's not me.
Yeah, it's not Peter
All right.
either. So it's not Peter, it's
I
not
was
casual.
muted, so it wasn't me.
And it
Was
wasn't
not
you,
me.
Sky. Okay,
Not
who's
me.
left?
But hey,
You,
me.
Terry.
No, it
It was
wasn't
you,
me.
Terry.
My keyboard doesn't sound like, and I can't type that fast.
It was Kit.
No, it wasn't me.
We'll blame Sheeple. That'll do. That's right.
Let's
Alright.
blame no name. Let's
Alright,
blame
well,
no name.
Well,
He's on a
since he's not
phone.
since
He
he's not
can't-
here, we could always blame Bandy.
There
Bloody-
you go.
That'll do.
Bloody Bandy.
Bandy's fault.
Yeah,
He
Bandy
was
missed
here-
out on the thrusty bits.
Oh.
I know.
Blur for Bandy.
When I saw the
I'd-
2nd
I'd-
stage,
I'd like to.
when I saw the
I'd like
second,
to argue there, Terry, because I bet you he's not missing out on any thrusty bits at the moment.
Hold it in their keyboard.
yeah, he's definitely not missed. He's definitely finding some curves, for sure.
You guys. You guys.
I know.
You guys.
You guys.
You guys.
You
guys.
guys.
It has
Just
to be
tie a
John.
knot in it. Tie a knot in it.
That would hurt.
Oh, that sounds painful.
Terry, I'm going to leave very soon because I'm quite tired now. I'm in the UK and it's really late. But I'd like to thank you very much. I really enjoy your shows and they give me great amusement.
Well, we're meant to entertain and educate as well, you know.
Yeah, it's good. You know, people that go, like, you get like 250 people watching Nathan Oakley, and all he does is play the same video for the last 2 years, talking the same bollocks. And I don't know why people watch him. He's a complete idiot.
That's $1, and that's a pound in the swear jar.
It just shows you what type of people are out there that can need their fix of this type of drama and an attitude from those type of YouTube people.
I might look out the window at the moment. If you look at it as well, at the moment it's above the UK. Look.
What?
Well, quick.
Above the UK at the moment.
Quick, look out. Open the window. Look out. Look up.
What do you think you'd be talking about?
Get your telescope.
What have we been watching? Would you be
I
watching?
know, I'm just winding you up.
It's about over London at the moment, give or take.
Oh,
Yeah.
Brian.
France-ish.
And if Alan looks south, a little bit to the
I've seen
south.
the International Space Station fly over without a lunar pass or a solar pass, just simply passing over the sky at like 5:30 in the morning, just before the sun rose, and you can physically see it.
Even without a camera, you can, or a telescope or anything, you can, with the naked eye, when the conditions are right, you can actually make out the ISS fairly easily.
And the reason you can see it is because the sun's shining on it, because it's above the horizon, and not above the flat Earth. It's above the sun is above the globe Earth. Sorry, not above, but it's still shining at that point.
Yeah. So right now in Australia, when it comes right down and does its southerly pass, you can once it gets because of where the terminator line is and all that type of magical stuff, once it gets down to about, I think it's Sydney, Australia, from there until it does its pass back up towards the north, it stays illuminated for the whole period of time while it's down. Like, so me in Victoria, when it's above my head, I can see it no matter what, because we're in summer now.
You can see it in the clouds as well. You can see the sun in the clouds. We've got high level cloud and low level cloud. But people argue that the high level cloud is more wispy than the sun's shining through it. But you can see it, the cumulonimbus cloud, which may go in the UK from like 3,000 foot up to 30,000 feet. The top will be lit up and the bottom will be dark after sunset. The same cloud, so there's no difference in its illumination.
look at the sun coming round the east.
T-7. Countdown. 10, 9, 8, 24.9.
Teach this man the clock.
I just find it really strange that you got flat earthers in 2020. This is 2020. Last year was 2019, but you still have stupid people.
Yeah, I think it was
this year.
2019 last year.
It's amazing. How can they be so stupid?
There's money in flat Earth.
Oh, I know, like Nathan Oakley likes to make money in that, but even Arwen tries to make money.
Expected.
But
Terry, I've sent you a DM, just a quick message about something. Yeah.
You send me porn again?
Definitely not. No.
I don't know. Okay.
No. It's sad. It's really sad. I mean, there used to be points of debate and all the rest of it. You know, there were still things that weren't, explained and all the rest of it. But now it's just categorically destroyed, debunked, put to bed, and the same old tired rhetoric just keeps coming day to day. I don't even know why
My
I
name
keep
is
looking
Cook
into
James.
it.
I believe.
But he's not even the problem, because it's just.
No, he's not the problem. No, he's just.
I mean, no, he's not even part of it. I mean, he's not even one of these people that go out. He doesn't label people anything or anything like that. I mean, he has his views on things, but it's these ones like today saying like, you guys are way behind and I'm way ahead of you and all the rest of it, and then don't even understand the difference between sun light rays and radio waves. You know what I mean? It's just. Yeah, I guess I wait for a new argument, but it just doesn't come. There's no argument. There's no more new things. So I don't know.
Look at the speed of it now. Wow, that's was it 26,000?
Not speed, velocity.
Oh, sorry.
Yelling in my ear, man. All right. Kicking back on my couch, and then it's just like,
I got him before Spacey said it.
I reckon.
At the moment, it's actually gradually decelerating, because it's reaching its apogee or its highest altitude before the next burn, or in and around that point, to circularize the orbit and see that blue line. I think that's the final orbit.
So the velocity, what speed is that in reality in miles an hour or kilometers?
Well, you got that's I can't even bloody see it properly.
It says
26,909.
I can't see what is that? What's the measurement? I can't even see it.
I can't see that either myself. No, it's too small.
Sorry, Glover Mum, but
kilometers an hour. It'd be kilometers an hour anyway.
Glover Mum.
Probably miles per hour.
26,909 kilometers an hour.
No, they're probably use kilometers.
Glover Mum said headphone warning. Sorry.
Nice. Did you get this? You got a different one, have you?
No, I think.
Look at that globe. Look at that. All that Earth. That's not the Earth. That's not planet Earth.
Okay.
Look at all the land.
Have you got this one? Same one. Okay, good.
I'll make
Did you hear me?
We'll use this textbook to
yeah.
That's not real planet Earth.
I'll probably give you some examples.
It's just a
from
graphic.
different one though. Okay.
Do you think we should silence something?
Yeah, mute the mic. He's on a phone call or something.
That's the first chapter.
Yeah, I think he must be.
I'm just looking at a landmass on what is apparently the globe Earth.
Right.
Skyflight is a graphic. It's just a representation, dude.
Yeah, but the flat earthers will pick up on this and they will say, it doesn't make sense.
I don't care. It's an animation. That's what I'm telling you. It's just a graphic. It doesn't matter.
Antonio Superhouse.
Don't give a flying fanny.
I don't think you need to worry about it.
At the Terminator line, look at the Terminator line. There's only a little bit of it.
Gord complained to SpaceX. I don't really care.
Yeah.
That's what he done. That's what Antonio Superat's done when One More Orbit done that flight from the north over the North Pole to the South Pole. He said, "Oh, Australia's missing from the map. That means it's false."
Yeah, but have you seen Antonio Superat's latest map? I mean, that was destroyed by Simon Dan. You know.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, so many problems. So many problems with his map is just it's ridiculous. Like a 6,000 kilometer flight becomes a 20,000 kilometer flight. You know, it's like what? How does that work? You know, it means that the airplane would have to be traveling like something like 1,800 miles an hour or something. You know?
The only reason
twice the speed of sound. Yeah.
The only reason I pointed out this globe map that they're showing at the moment, and I'm assuming the people in the chat can see this, it doesn't represent the real Earth. And I realise it's just an interpretation to give you a graphic view of where it's going. And I understand that personally. But someone like Antonio Superat will say, "Oh, these land masses aren't correct. Look at that. It doesn't line up with any continents we can see on the map."
Yeah, then I'll say to Superats, then I say Superats, that's an animation and a representation. It's not to be an accurate map. It's just to give you an idea as to where it is.
Yeah.
Simple explanation.
I know that.
Yeah, I know you know that, but I'm just saying that's what I would tell Superats.
That's why
if you hear him say it, that's what you ought to say.
Just so everyone in this chat will understand reality.
Yeah, it'll be coming into daylight soon. Hopefully, we might see.
So it's coming up towards Panama at the moment.
Yeah.
Costa Rica. It's heading towards Panama, in between Panama and Costa Rica. It's current. Where are we? So the current velocity of it is 7.79 kilometers a second. Its altitude at this current time is 264 kilometers above sea level and rising still.
Did you say meters?
And sea level?
Kilometers.
Well, according to this, it says 237 kilometers.
264.5, 264.
Where are you getting this information from?
Because I've got the satellite tracker app, and I've actually put in this.
SpaceX. According to SpaceX, it's at 237 kilometers altitude at the moment.
Oh,
they go by what SpaceX is telling us.
You'll find that your SpaceX feed's delayed.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be that far away.
Yeah,
because you're talking about a 40 kilometers difference. Must be something else then.
Well,
the SpaceX is inaccurate, or the tracker is.
Yeah, I'm not even getting any specs for SpaceX. It's just the image.
He might have better internet and has,
that one. Yeah, two different feeds.
More recent data.
I'm not saying for sure, but I would imagine.
I can check where the data's coming from.
How you going?
But I can almost guarantee it'll be coming. It'll be coming straight from either SpaceX or NASA because it's where they get all of their satellite information from.
I think so, though. But there's definitely a confliction between two. Because I mean, the stream's only about 30 seconds to 40 seconds delay. It's not much, not a massive difference. And it's not rising that quickly at the moment because it's getting quite close to its
I want to see how you go.
Phil,
you're saying casual?
I'm muting you.
Sorry, what was that?
I said I'd like to keep you
muted,
we'll Phil, while you're talking to your students.
We'll have a look at fuels.
I think he might have thought to mute himself and actually unmuted himself. Derek.
Yeah, he was the one banging on the keyboard. That was him.
What were you saying, Peter? Sorry, I missed what you said, bud.
Well, what's you're saying at the moment for its altitude?
237 kilometers according to SpaceX.
Yeah, that's what I've got here. The speed the velocity hasn't changed yet. I know, I corrected myself then, didn't I, Hannah?
Yes.
Yeah, the reason for that is because it's getting quite close to its apogee, or the point where they can actually burn again. So it circularizes
you
its
all have the
orbit and
same
gets into the
textbook.
final
That's
orbit.
very good.
Oh, he's back again.
Phil, you keep unmuting yourself while you're talking to the students.
Keep muting then.
Okay.
Explain this apogee thing, Casual.
Oh, apogee basically is the highest altitude point of your current orbit. Okay, it's the highest point of your orbit. So where it took off from, and where it's predicted to kind of like land, as it were, although it's not going to. That's your apogee. That's your highest point of your orbit. And then I forget what the lowest point is called. It's just basically your highest point of your orbit, your current orbit at the moment. So what happened is, the way it's sitting at the moment is that it will land somewhere on the other side of the Earth. So it will get to that point. We'll have that other burn that we'll show it in a minute. They'll burn the engines again. And what that do is that will raise the lowest point of the orbit. So you get a circularized orbit, if you know what I mean. Does that make sense?
Sort of.
Clear as mud.
Yeah. Clear as mud. Yeah, basically, it's just gonna raise its orbit on the other side of the Earth, because at the moment it's very, very low.
Okay.
Probably hitting the ground, if you know what I mean. That to simplify it even further.
Yeah, well, obviously I know if they don't keep accelerating, the orbit will decay.
So I'll give you 5 minutes more, okay?
Yeah.
And then we'll get onto the next onto fuels, okay?
No.
Yeah,
No,
I don't want
fuels.
to.
No,
I
don't want to.
Fuels.
No.
We need to give him a message out there in the chat that his mic's open.
Yeah, tell him we don't want to do fuels.
Yeah.
Just want to do rockets.
I'm going to keep muting him.
Yeah. So yes, it's just coasting nicely at the moment. It's just a nice little coast.
Right. And
No
obviously
need to burn its engines.
there's a formula to do with decay rate, to do with velocity, to do with and mass. Would there be a formula amongst all that?
Don't ask me to tell you what the formula is.
No, I'm not expecting you to know it, but I'd be right.
Casual.
I'd be right in stating that that's a formula what would be for what.
Oh,
that,
absolutely, yeah. It's a whole, it's they call it the rocket formula. Quite funny and quite funny enough. So yeah.
Has your speed or your altitude changed at the moment, Casual?
No, the time is still going like normal, but the rest of it's the same.
Forget the timer. But nothing else is changing.
Yeah, nothing else is changing.
No, not at the moment. Not unless it's changing at very small increments.
I know where your problem is. Then it's not my end.
Well, it's not my end.
Okay.
Well, mine's
they might have paused it. It doesn't matter though. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
You talking about?
Are you saying it's changed and it's not correct on the screen?
That's correct.
Possibly.
It's not updating on the screen
yet.
I was wondering how they were
also-
maintaining such a precise altitude and speed for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? Yeah. True enough. Yeah. True enough.
It's stuck on 237, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 237 and
Has
2699.
anyone else got a feed? Like not NASA or somebody else?
I'm looking at the SpaceX feed as we speak at the moment, the original one.
Yeah, but that's coming off the same. That's where this is coming from as well.
Yeah, that's fair enough, Peter. That's fair enough. That's all right.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you can keep us updated then.
I got some Pringles.
You got some Pringles?
Oh,
Okay.
Pringles! Solve everything.
It's not really a feed, but I got some Pringles. A little bit of a snack.
I wish we could see a picture of it because it's in the daylight now. I wish
My
I could see
Pringles.
Those
an
are
image of it.
fake chips.
They're just normal Pringles, Casual. Nothing special.
I'll be back in a second.
Oh, what can't you have space Pringles?
Well, they would be if I took them to the spacing track. Maybe I could put them on like a weather balloon, and when they reach the atmosphere,
Those
they
are
pop,
maybe
come back down.
flakes.
Yeah.
I mean, there'd be space Pringles. Yeah. Upper atmosphere
The only problem,
Pringles.
the only problem with that, Sheeples, if you put it on a weather balloon at the moment, your Pringles would come back smelling like smoke.
Barbecue.
Keep the tube, and you can make a rocket with it.
A rocket?
You can make a rocket. Yeah, put a cone on it. You make a rocket.
But they are very
That's-
good Pringles. I must.
Maybe, Terry, close this page and open up another one. Oh, it's changing now. As soon as I said that, it changed to
acquisition.
282.
Yeah.
Free.
Jumped
Wow.
up.
You made it move
updated.
with your mind.
Peter.
Wow.
Peter. It says 283 altitude now.
Peter, can you
How's that
can you
compare?
confirm?
That's
Peter, can
funny,
you hear
funny
me?
enough. Funny enough, that's somewhat closer to what I'm seeing.
Peter, can you confirm?
Yeah, velocity 26,711 kilometers an hour.
Oh, Terry didn't move his
see
mouse, did he? So
me?
his screen's frozen.
Skyfly, shush! I'm talking to Peter.
Sorry.
Yes,
Jesus.
yes. That's somewhat a lot closer to mine. Within
There you
a
go.
matter
Yeah, they
of
started updating
meters.
again.
Yeah.
So you were right all the way along, Peter. Well done.
Well, you know what?
proud of you.
Don't tell my ex because she won't believe you.
Oh,
What, that you were right?
jeez.
Yeah.
Gotta drag the X's in every time.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna make fun of someone, and I don't want to make fun of anyone in here.
Shoot the
Oh,
glass.
But
go
it's, I mean,
ahead.
it's
We can take
it's
it.
still decelerating quite slowly, and the altitude's going up slowly.
What
To
speed do
be
you
fair,
have?
Casual Spaceman, I was right as well.
Okay.
They're
No,
gonna
Terry's mouse didn't have anything to do with it because the timer was still going up. So it was updating, but the SpaceX wasn't updating.
Well,
Yeah.
I'd like to go as far as saying that it wasn't even anyone here that was wrong. It was the feed
True.
that was wrong.
Someone needs to
Exactly.
be wrong, Peter.
The man
No.
that was meant to be doing the updating.
Can't have a fight
Yeah,
without
it was his
somebody
fault.
being wrong.
Exactly.
It wasn't my fault.
Exactly, Hannah.
No,
See,
no, it wasn't your fault,
exactly-
Casual.
Exactly.
You
what
were
I'm
only
talking about.
reading numbers on a screen.
Who was wrong? I need
Exactly.
to know. I'm keeping score over here. I'll write it on the wall. Come on.
Blame no Snowflake. I blame no
Sheeple. Sheeple,
What?
stop trying to create conflict. Stop it.
There's
It was
always
him.
conflict to
Troublemaker.
find, Casual. You just gotta
It
weed.
was the
Oh,
Kiwi.
Sheeple, you're troublemaker. I know you'll
You
sort.
just gotta
Kiwis.
weed it in there. You just gotta. There's broken glass somewhere. Someone stand on it. But yeah,
I'm just looking at the timer. Has it gone up? I thought it was down to 39 minutes. And now it's 41.
yeah, no, it's gone up a few more kilometers. Peter, can you give us a confirmation on the velocity? Oh, see what I almost did there? I almost did it. I almost.
26,696 according to SpaceX.
slowing down very slowly.
Yeah, it will
Yeah.
slow down because
You soon won't be
Like-
though. It's going to go very quickly
they
again.
don't have their rockets on at the moment, so they will slow down until they hit apogee, and then they'll fire their rockets again.
Haven't I just
Okay.
been saying that?
It's an echo in the
Yes.
house.
Have I not
Casual.
just been saying
There's an
that?
echo in the house.
I was
They're just
confirming what
taking
you
a
were
rest.
saying. That's all.
I know, Peter. I'm only teasing you, but I'm teasing you.
Because you
It's
keep
all right, that's
repeating
okay.
yourself, I just thought I would say it as well.
I thought I'd say it as well.
Hey,
The funny
Peter,
thing is-
thanks for telling us. I didn't hear it. I didn't
Oh,
hear it
sweet.
before. Thanks for telling us. That's
You're
awesome.
such an unruly
Sorry,
class.
Peter. I'm only messing with you.
The funny thing is, the flat earthers will say, how
I've got
come
to
it
do
doesn't
too.
crash into any satellites, even though they believe the Earth is flat and there are no satellites?
Mm,
Right.
oh, double
Engine
speak.
chill is happening now. They're going to do this burn again shortly, I think.
Peter, can you
Just
confirm?
announced What was that?
Such an
I said, Peter,
unruly bunch.
Peter, can you confirm? Because whatever you said, he has to confirm.
He can only track it. He couldn't actually tell us what's happening though.
Hold on. My Pringles are calling.
Oh my goodness. Would you guys make up the mind who's the pilot and who's the co-pilot?
You know what? Because I'm such a good bloke, I'll just say whatever Casual says, we'll go with that at the moment, and I'll close my app.
Until he proves me wrong.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
That's the engine, right? The one that was red hot a minute ago.
Well, about 15 minutes ago, yeah.
Well, yeah.
They're cooling it now at the moment because they're going to fire it up again in a second. You see the stuff, venting there.
It's a
Oh,
space
bloody hell, I forgot
ferret.
what it is. Space ferret. No space ferrets.
It's a balloon. See, it's blowing up.
Oh, it just gave itself away.
Oh, what's the stuff you
where
call
was
to
the
cool
ferret?
things down really quickly? What's it called again?
Hey,
You're supposed to eat the Pringles, not choke on them.
I'm not the one choking here.
Oh,
I'm safely
My mind's
eating each
gone blank.
Pringle one at a time.
Oh, the map's changed. Different landmass.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the Madagascar, isn't it?
We
Not
can send
the African coast.
we can send rockets into space, even make pieces of them return, but we can't make a tube of Pringles that aren't
Here we
broken.
go, starting up again.
Pringles aren't real chips anyway. They're flakes.
Well, we can't make a broken
Crisps.
packet without broken flakes.
Oh, come on, don't go to that. I want to see the engine. What are you doing, SpaceX?
There's a ferret.
That's
They
not
had to go-
Australia. Oh, there's Australia at the bottom right.
They had to change the camera because of the ferret
Oh,
came running
she's talking,
back around.
Terry.
Oh, she's talking.
Terry
got
fell
volume?
asleep.
Hello, talking person. Everyone read a sign language. Oh,
Terry.
no sign
Terry.
language.
Terry. Terry.
Terry.
Terry.
Terry.
Terry. Audio. Is he there?
Ozzie.
He might have gone to make coffee,
Oh shit.
or his headset's gone
Who's
flat. One or the
Roboto?
other.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, well, doesn't matter.
All right. Oh, getting called by the Pringles again.
Terry
There you go.
abandoned us.
Quick burn. That was it. Just quick. That was it. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
I
There it
see.
is. There
Yeah,
you go.
Terry's-
There you go. That's it.
Terry's got the coffee symbol up, so he's going to make a coffee.
I see the
Okay.
curve. Shh. It's a secret.
Yeah, it's curving the wrong way in that picture.
Yeah, that looks.
That's the only thing.
Looks more
Okay.
concave there.
Yeah, it's,
Oh,
it's obviously a, what do you call it, lens?
J Mac will show up. Shh.
CNC confirms
Yeah.
good insertion accuracy.
Terry, audio.
He went
We
to take a
cannot
nap.
hear the audio.
Yeah, what she's saying is, no space ferrets confirmed today on this flight.
Yeah.
Don't watch Nathan Oakley because he talks complete bollocks.
Yes. Well, we know this.
Someone ping his phone.
How long does it take to boil a jug? Not that long.
He went
Boil
to
a
go pick the
jug.
coffee
Don't you mean a
beans.
kettle?
My
Boil an egg.
goodness.
Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Look at that picture. Look at that.
Helium.
Shut up.
It was
Oh,
Love you too.
look at that.
I love you, Hannah. Sorry. I wanted to-
What's with that angle though? What's happening there? Like I can't get my
yeah,
head
well,
around
it is a slightly fisheye lens. That's where you're getting that.
Shh.
concave.
that. No, you've done it, casual. You just can.
Yeah,
No.
whatever.
All right. So
if that white dot is the position of it, is that what it is?
It
Yeah.
says.
yes,
That's
that is where it-
Madagascar on the left.
Look how
What is this, a
Western.
core?
look at how massive the Earth is from there using that radiant. Just
Oh, look at that picture with the. That's the whole stack of satellites there. Whole stack of them. 60.
Oh, that's so cool. What a cool.
That's- what is that
angle.
angle? What the? What's happening there?
Oh, space
a bird?
debris. A bird? They'll say it's an ice.
A
They're gonna
bird
say
that's-
space bubbles.
Space
Space
bird.
bubbles.
That was a
Space
space-
bubbles.
That was a space bird right there.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
If you,
That's
if you
in
slow
the
it,
dark. That's
if
in
you
the
slow
dark.
it down, it has this little.
That was
oxygen-
Oh,
the
they-
ferret.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You can see some flat earthers tomorrow as well coming out with that clip. It's space bird. Look, it's a bird.
Yeah, space ferret with wings. That's
Mind
confirmed.
you, it's high
right
up,
there.
so it might be in the light.
Space ferret confirmed.
I see stars. Oh, wait, this is a CGI.
You're getting close to Australia. You can have a look out the window and see it soon.
Yeah, the position of the rocket, if that white dot is it, is technically in the dark if you're on the ground, but if you're that high up, it would be in the light.
Mm-hmm.
Very good,
Oh, that
Skyfly.
is Australia. Look at that. Once
That's
again,
Australia, yeah.
New
That's where
Zealand-
all them kangaroos live.
New Zealand won't be shown again. Typical won't fly.
So I was right with Madagascar, wasn't I?
Hang on, we're not around the right
No,
place to see New
loss of
Zealand
signal
just yet.
expected.
Hold on.
We're not even gonna get there, Cash. Look at the trajectory.
It looks like they're going to fly over the
No, you're
South
not.
Pole
No,
almost.
you won't. You won't see it. Well,
That's
you might
right.
in a little bit. You might see it in a bit.
Stop trying to make me feel
Okay,
good.
I'll just switch off the volume on my.
I'm. You know, I always try to make you feel good, Chief.
Okay.
It's all right. I got my
So,
Pringles.
okay.
That console me.
That's all you
We're
need, your
looking-
Pringles.
The reason that we're looking at this is because these are the main fuels that we.
Uh-oh. Professor
again.
Bell.
Talking
We
about
don't
fuels
want to
again.
do fuels.
No one can mute him either.
I know.
How does he
What's the
keep
white-
coming back on?
What's the
muted him?
white line that's going from left to right, which has like a point in it in the middle?
That's just a graphic for the timeline of different events that are happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what
So
does it mean?
Is that thing
to
over
us?
there deploying? I can't even read it.
Right. So where you got that bit that's going past, it says Seco 2. That was second engine cut off 2, and you had second engine start before that. So it was only like a few seconds, wasn't it?
Okay, what did I miss?
So you missed quite a lot. They were talking a little while, Terry. Can you mute Professor Phil again, or is he muted now?
He's muted again. I think he finally figured it
No,
out.
I muted him.
You
he was-
muted him
he
and
was
you didn't
talking
turn
about-
up the sound.
Every time he mentions fuels, he gets unmuted for some reason. I don't know why.
Why does Australia look curved? I thought it was on a flat Earth.
Skyfly.
So on that timeline, see that next bit blob that's coming up. I think that's the satellite deployment. I think, and that's the interesting bit. So
I
you
can
might
see
need the,
Wolfie in Perth there.
Casual, smack him, would you? You're right next to him.
I'm
Who?
okay.
No, I'm not going to smack anybody.
On close inspection, I've lost about 6 to 8 Pringles, full flake pieces. I mean, come on.
What is it with you with these Pringles?
I'm just talking about the technology that we have to take rockets into space, and we can't make a tube of Pringles that stays completely unbroken. What if they put the Pringles inside a bag as well?
That might
Oh,
work.
that would be a mess.
Imagine that. I'd just be a bag of flakes.
It would have to be like a bubble wrap type bag.
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
there's just no way.
Pringles, they
Is
wouldn't
there?
get broken.
There's just we can land rockets. There's just no way to get your money's worth. I mean, on the ad, have you seen it on the ad?
money's worth?
Have you seen it
The
on
mass,
the
the
ad?
mass of the Pringles, the total mass of the Pringles, is not altering. They're
Yes.
just their density has just changed because they're
Okay,
broken.
but who didn't buy the Pringles after seeing the advert where they just take out these perfect stacks like every time your first 10
Yeah,
chips,
well,
you've got a
that's-
chip out
that's-
of one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, adverts and reality are two separate things altogether.
How dare you?
I know. I'm
All right,
sorry
that's-
to.
That's my
I'm
last
sorry
word.
I'm sorry to disrupt your illusion of reality. I'm sorry.
That's the last word I'm gonna say on Pringles. Is Pringle.
You're so bad.
What flavoured Pringles are they?
Sour
talk
cream,
about-
obviously.
I can't talk about them anymore, Terry. I just said them. My last word was
Sour
Pringles.
cream. Are they sour cream? Are they the green ones? The
I
green
can
packet.
answer questions about
you can.
flavors, but I
Yes, you
can't
can.
talk about. You know
Why? Why?
No, you're correct. The flavor was correct.
Thank you. How do you think I knew that? Eh?
Oh, because
He looks like a sour cream kind of guy.
yeah, like Avatar
Are you
matches the
sheeple?
colors and everything.
Yes.
I tried a flavor the other day, some barbecue flavor. Pretty damn awesome.
Why do you just laser print some Pringles that are not broken?
Ooh.
3D print some.
Make a little Pringle. Oh shit! I said the word.
You
said
need
Pringle.
to 3D print a new container, one that holds
Yeah.
them without breaking them.
Yeah.
You know what? You're
So
right.
submit your designs to us. We'll pour over the designs and tell you whether it'll work or not. And then
Yeah,
you
you
can
could have it like a. You could have it like a.
Every single individual Pringle needs to be reinforcibly contained so it doesn't even move.
Exactly, like almost like a loaf of bread, all the way down. And
But
the
you
people at
need
the
some movement
factory-
because otherwise, if it's
no,
rigid, they'll break.
No,
People at
like
the factory
you
have
have
to-
a box for your pizza. The box that have to be
Yeah.
shaped to really cushion the effect of the Pringle moving at all in its own little separate container.
Yeah. The only problem then, Terry,
Well,
that
I think-
Pringles will be
I think-
$12 each.
I think we need to investigate
you walk
exactly what's causing the Pringles to break.
You walk into the shop and you get one perfect, pristine Pringle wrapped perfectly in a box that's not broken, and they'll charge you probably a couple of dollars for each Pringle.
There you go. There you go.
Why? When there's perfectly good chips.
It's a perfectly shaped Pringle. It's not chipped, broken, or anything.
Yeah.
But they're awful.
How dare you?
But it's only usually the top sort of like 5 or 6 that are broken usually.
Yeah,
Not
well,
the rest are usually okay.
someone threw this, didn't they?
You know, at the end of the
Maybe-
day, the mass is still the same.
Maybe it was
The mass
me.
of the Pringles.
It's gone up to 54 minutes and 41 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time's going forward. Funny that.
Wow.
He's a
I
sharp
think the
one.
biggest problem the flat earthers have is scale. You know, you got like Dow with his whiteboard drawing like half of the earth, like we can see at the moment. And then he draws stick men on top of it. And they're like 700 miles tall.
I'll fix Sky. There you go. Look.
Sorry?
I said I'll fix you.
Yeah, no problem.
What are you going to do to him?
I paused it.
Stop the
I stopped the time.
Yeah, Dow draws these stick men on top of the planet Earth, and he makes a
You're
curve to
confusing.
represent the Earth, and he draws them
Yeah, I know,
700
we've seen
miles
it.
tall.
Oh, wait a
And he
minute.
says
It's
they
gone to
got looked down.
293. It was 297 before.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
it's changed. It's weird.
Why is it going down?
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I'm not entirely sure.
Where's Peter? Peter.
Yeah, but Dow lives in Scotland, and he thinks that the Earth
I'm
is
hiding.
as big as his backyard.
Maybe it's a
and
low
the
tide.
shed
Maybe
is
it's
the
low.
Earth.
Maybe it's low tide out over the ocean, and they're going by the mean sea level, so it's actually. Oh no, it's high tide. Actually.
I don't bloody know. I don't know. Oh, sheeple! I can see New Zealand poking through their bottom right there. I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just coming in. It looks further away than it should be.
It's my house.
In my opinion.
It's your house.
Sheeple, I can't remember. You're South Island, aren't you? You're a South Islander, or are you North Islander?
No, it's much further across. It's
South
it's
Island
below.
now.
Sheeple, are you North Islander or South Islander?
South.
All right, okay.
That interpretation is wrong because it's further. Well, it depends how we're looking at it, but
Yeah, it's all right. It's only.
we can
It's
see.
only.
We
It's
can
only.
see Antarctica. Sorry, the South Pole.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, you can see New Zealand. Look at that. There I am. There, like, there, right there.
Quick, go outside and wave.
Yeah.
Wave. Yeah.
Wave.
That's not 2,000 miles. It's the scale's wrong. There's something wrong with the scale.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's
See
okay.
The
what
scale
that-
is wrong.
See where that blue
just
line's crossing across the bottom of New Zealand there? It's pretty much
It's
where I
just a
live.
representation. It doesn't matter.
Just a,
all
just
good.
a little bit zoomed in, you'll be able to see my house. I got them to draw my house in on this animation, but you can't see it.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah. I work.
Did you have a chat with Elon then? Did you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's just
I
a
can't,
shill.
I can't see the smoke from the fires.
I'll have you know I'm a shill agent. Not just a shill.
Shill agent.
I'm a shill agent, yeah. Sergeant
When I
Shitter.
spoke to Elon Musk, he told me that New Zealand is actually 200 miles north of me. If I drilled a hole through the earth directly down, I would come out 200 miles south of New Zealand.
Well, I'll
from
tell
the
you
UK.
this. I'll tell you something that everyone doesn't know. New Zealand is actually an inflatable raft.
Yeah.
No, it's too far over to the what would it be? The east, and it's
Yeah,
too.
no, so,
Well,
so
it would
what
be.
happened?
It would
there was,
be. Yeah.
last
Okay.
Australia Day, a whole heap of Aussies tied all these bloody floating lilos together, and it floated out there, and that's what the South Island of New Zealand is.
Yeah.
Correct, but we also attached to it some ice.
Well, I mean,
That's what the
it
Southern
makes
Alps
sense
are.
that it's a. It would make sense if it was an inflatable raft because then it's quite convenient because you can just take it away for certain
It's
maps.
changed shape. It's just changed shape. You've got a big pointy bit now on the top of
What do
it.
you mean if it's an inflatable raft? I just told you it isn't.
Okay, well, I'm just saying it's quite convenient. It's ideal, isn't it? Because
Well, why do you think we're off some
Take
of
it
the
away.
maps? We had a day
I
where
know
the
that's the
compressor
point
failed.
I'm trying to make. Until I was
Exactly.
most rudely interrupted by Skyfly.
Oh, Skyfly on the fly.
Acquisition of signal, Tasmania.
There we go. We're coming up as Tasmania. Here we go.
Tasmania.
No.
Anyone
We're
else?
coming up to satellite deployment in a sec.
Yep.
What the hell's
Just
that blue
try
line?
not to.
What's the blue line? What's that doing? What's
That's
going
the
on?
final orbit. That's the
Oh, it's
projected
coming
orbit.
right over my house, like I told you. You told me it was going to come over my house. Pretty much a shame, though, that it's bloody daylight.
Look at that. Look at that.
Is it
Look at that
daylight
picture.
there?
Cat, go and find the Starlink.
Of
thing.
course, yes.
Go.
It's day.
The cat's looking at me like, I don't know where the Starlink is. I said, go find it. You won't listen to me.
What was in those Pringles?
I'm sick of the same, actually. Whatever's in them, I'd like some. I'll have 5 grams of whatever it is.
I'm just happy to be on the panel. All right.
Are they mushroom flavored?
I know. I like being on the panel with you, Sheep. I really do.
Thank you.
Fun.
Yeah, I cater for all types.
And Peter and Terry
and needs.
Here we go. It's gonna deploy in a sec. Hold on.
It's gonna shoot its load.
Oh my god.
That sounds rude.
Lee.
Well, it is a load, right?
Accusing us of being rude earlier on, and she starts off.
So
You're rubbing
if
off
you
on
get-
me.
If you're gonna say it, you got to say it the right way. It's gonna drop its load.
Actually, no, I'm not. Actually, no, I'm not, Hannah.
Glober said they're running out of helium.
They all just detach together.
Look at that twisting.
Yeah, they're doing that on purpose, so they will come away from the.
That's
from the
awesome.
spacecraft.
If there are any flat Earth people watching, this is reality.
There you go. Watch this.
Glober Mum said there. I wonder if the helium is running out. That could be why the altitude of the rocket decreased.
Glober Mum,
Oh,
behave.
it's up again though. It's $2.99.
Oh, come on! Don't! No, I don't want the map. What? Come
We
on.
don't want to see the CGI shit.
I can't control the image.
No, I know you can't. I know.
I'm not blaming you, Terry. I'm not blaming you.
Hold on, let me give them a call.
Payload deployed confirmed. Right, we might see it in a second. Come on.
There we go.
There we go.
There you go.
Oh.
All in one big batch, so they'll all separate naturally by themselves, and then they'll deploy their solar panels and then go off into their orbits.
I wonder what the independent variable is.
Are they mini orbits or mini satellites?
Yeah, they're not much bigger than a large suitcase, really.
Oh wow!
Turn that woman on.
They're kind of flat. They're kind of flat as well.
Audio.
Terry.
It's too bad we don't have Professor Bell.
Well, we do, but he kept on talking to his class.
Terry, turn
the sound
Yeah, that's about it, really, guys. That's about it, really. That's it.
She looks like that girl from
our viewers for tuning in. Follow our website and social media platforms for updates on our next missions and milestones. Thanks for joining us for the first launch of 2020. And until next time, have a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Awesome.
She's super spunky.
That's cute. What app is that you got?
That was
There you go.
anticlimactic.
Yeah, cool.
I have to keep muting Phil. He doesn't realise his mic's open.
There you go.
Oh, there we go.
Thanks for updates on our next missions and milestones. Thanks for joining us for the first launch of 2020. And until next time, have a Happy New Year.
Oh, why's that still going? Why am I still getting sound?
I don't know. You got the controls.
I found it.
someone-
Yeah, I found it.
Oh, I can shut YouTube down now. Shut that down.
That was awesome.
I'll come back to YouTube. That's good.
Okay. Now what?
Now we wait for them to. Now we wait for them to crash into New Zealand.
Yeah.
Dare you?
And then kill everybody.
Oh, thanks.
So you were saying, Kaz, they've all got their own boosters and stuff on them to send them off in their own direction. Is that correct, or?
Yeah, little thrusters. Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool.
Does that mean I'm actually going to have good Wi-Fi now?
Yay!
Probably the first few years, the internet won't be all that great. But I mean, like about 1,300 they're looking at deploying this year, and I think it was 12,000 by about 2025. And I think 42,000 of them by something like early 2030s. So by that point, you would have, could provide some very low latency, high speed broadband by that point.
So that would be
everywhere,
and without trying to make it anything less than what it actually is, but it would be like a phone connection, so a radio connection to the internet. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you'll have a network of transceivers. I think you find like transceiver stations across the globe, and they can all communicate with each other as well. And it's just like the rapid reacquisition of each satellite as it gets closer. So you've got this constant connection between the transceivers and the satellites all communicate. So it's a bit like it's pretty much like an internet on its own, a World Wide Web on its own, really.
Yeah.
Skynet.
So so technically you could be sending information across the other side of the world literally within milliseconds.
Need more Harry, balloons. I've enjoyed myself tonight, and I've just changed my name because I want to come back.
Okay.
What's you change it to?
And if I didn't want you to come, back, I would have called you Stick.
It's a funny shaped stick.
Yeah.
Anybody want to be named Stick?
No.
No. Not yet.
Ross.
Hello.
Hello. Louder.
Hello.
Say hello.
Hello.
That's Mrs. Casual Spaceman.
Hello, Mrs. Space Person.
Space Person.
Space Cadets.
Yeah, you can't say Mrs. Casual Spaceman, then you can.
No, because that's assuming space.
Oh.
It's not. Here he goes now.
There we go.
Davros has joined.
Davros is like, there's no flat earther. I must become. Tonight, Michael, I will be a flat earther.
Yes, the Shedai has spoken.
That's a lot of money then.
Yes.
Jedi.
I'm Obi-Wan, you know me.
Obi-Wan.
Yes, he is a Shedai of the Fourth Order.
Yes.
Shedai.
Fighting against the Jibby Jedi.
We're not the flurfers you are looking for.
Yes.
This is so funny.
This is not.
Jibby is a piece of work.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he's not.
Jedi, yeah.
No, he's not a piece of work.
He moved house, didn't he? Went to a lodge and that.
Tell you
a
what.
wooden building or whatever.
Now I've left that panel. It's like I've gone to the dark side in their eyes, but really, I found the Force. I left the dark side.
So
unenlightened side.
was that Force a push or a pull?
It was more of a magnetic attraction.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was a field.
Yeah, we won't talk about Stingray and his pool experiences from his early 20s.
Oh, that was disgusting.
Oh, Brian.
20s.
Brian, you fucking pushed him, mate.
I pushed him. I didn't put him. Oh, that's so funny.
That's $1 in the swear jar.
Yeah, I was waiting for someone to pick up on it.
It's $1 in the swear jar. Davrossian.
No, I already paid my dues.
Okay.
Who'd you pay him to?
The swear jar.
To Globy. Gravey's the official money.
Put it in the Pringle fund. I mean, swear jar.
Pringle fund.
I think you have an addiction.
Don't tell me what I know.
Isn't he meant to put the money on the fridge, Terry?
Swear. I swear.
Well,
it's
yeah,
for
the swear
Pringle.
jar's on top of the fridge as well.
Yeah, so the money goes on top of the fridge.
All right. On a flat plane, I should be able to throw it to you, right? Hold on. Which way
Well,
are
it's
you
also,
facing?
well, see, the thing is, we have to be able to see your necessary antecedent.
No,
to be able
look,
to
gravity doesn't exist, right? So an
No,
object
but we
in
have to
motion.
rectify
Well, if
your
you get
R
the right
value.
angle, you can bounce it off the dome.
That's true, Terry. That's
A
true.
rebound.
All right, let's see where I am. Okay, you guys are like
There.
there.
Yeah, well,
You
you're
guys are-
there
We're
and
over
we're
there.
here.
Okay.
No, a little bit to your left.
All
little
right,
bit to your
I
left.
see you. I see you now. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, a bit more to the
Sim-
left. That'll end in the toilet.
Peter, put a shirt on. Bloody hell.
About 12.5 degrees north, right?
All right.
And 28.5 degrees south.
Those are just. What?
Make sure it's spread over.
Those are just numbers, Davros. You know that.
Oh, okay, so 6 miles to the right and 28 degrees to the left.
Is that south, 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 or south, 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 south?
Well, every direction that you look that's not north must be south on the
Yes,
photo.
but south right or south left or south down towards opposite north. I like to call it opposite north or ON for short.
So southbound and down.
Oh, right. Gotcha. All right. So that's right next to non-existent. Got it. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
So non-existent zenith to confabulated tangent.
Ah, right. Between using perspective, that's
Yes.
37 degrees off opposite north. Got it.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
But that depends, because if you're facing east, like which way is south?
On a flat plane, the cat should be able to run to you guys. I'll put a message. I'll tie it around his collar. There we go. Cat, you going to Australia? Fair dinkum.
Your cat's looking at you right now, going, "You dickhead."
Yeah. I'll just tell him. Look, go over there. Davros has got some cat meal, some milk. Fair dinkum.
Yeah, I've got the whiskers, mate. Come on.
I got a new conspiracy out in this outside chat that my sub purchase is going to fund Pringles. What?
I'll donate. I mean,
No, it's the Pringle fund goes.
No, it's a sub purchase fund.
All right, I'm going to drop anyway. Thanks very much for everything, Terry. It was a fantastic.
Okay, Peter.
Rocket launch.
Thanks for
I've got to
coming,
go
mate.
pretend to do
Thanks
that
for the
father
update on the
thing now.
wildfires.
Okay then.
Thanks for the update on the wildfires.
all right, Peter. Good talking to you, mate. See you then.
Yeah,
Right.
my erection from today's earlier launch has gone down, so we are in good stead.
Well, it's all right. I'll probably end up listening on the YouTube side of things anyway. But
Take it steady, Eddie.
all right, see you all. Bye.
See you later.
Peter.
See you later. Thanks, Peter.
What's a nice chap?
Oh, we've been going for 4 hours already, so I think that might do it.
Is it
anyway.
really that long?
I haven't heard much from No Name or Kit or John or.
Yeah, can you hear me?
4 hours? No way.
Oh, there he is.
2 hours.
No, it's only 2 hours.
2 hours and 15.
Yeah, not 4
I'm
hours.
here, but it's really loud in the background.
Terry's talking bollocks. It's not 4 hours, it's 2 hours.
Can't hear much noise in the background though, No Name.
Yeah, I'm in a factory. That's why I'm muted.
Yeah, but we
Alexa,
can't hear anything behind you.
No.
Oh, really? Normally, y'all hear all the honking and.
No, it's quiet.
It's a
Not a thing.
psyop, mate.
Oh,
It's a
nice.
psyop. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're psychologically
Well,
telling us that you're actually working.
You might not be able to hear us from all the
I think-
honking and grinding and banging.
Yeah, no, I can hear you guys. I fixed my headset earlier with a little rejiggering of a wire and some electrical tape, so that seemed to do the trick.
Oh,
Duck,
wiggly
duck,
do
duck.
the wire with a 12-pound sledgehammer, you mean?
And a bit of duct tape.
Does the tricks.
Duct tape
And a
fixes
bit of
everything.
a bit of duct tape, WD-40, little baling wire, fix it right up.
Terry.
And then all we can see is Kit's eye.
Chris.
Interesting.
Chris has
Yeah.
secured future Pringles. What a guy.
Super future
Yeah.
chat for the Pringles.
So I better have a look at the
Get some
internal
more
chat. I
subs.
can't.
Do you need to get more subs? So we can
Nobody
start throwing
answered my
money at you?
question, by the way.
I don't know.
What was your
Did
question?
you have a question? No.
Yeah, do you ever have an unfair dinkum?
An unfair
No,
dinkum.
no,
No. It's
don't be
they're always.
silly.
It's always fair.
Oh,
All
okay.
fair dinkums.
Check it.
It's a fair dinkum when it's fair dinkum.
What's
it's
a
not fair
dinkum though
dinkum-
on its own?
Yeah,
Can
but
you
if it's
describe what a
hang on.
dinkum is?
Hang on, first, if it's not
Result.
fair dinkum, it's bullshit.
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly. It's a
Does
result.
it mean are you being real or are you being truthful or is that true or
Yeah, dinkum. Otherwise, you're
like
dinkum.
flat earthers aren't fair dinkum?
Nah, they're crazy fair dinkum.
So
True.
fair dinkum basically just means fair truth, fair enough, fair kind of like whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Good
and
on
you
ya.
can also say struth when you're surprised, which I like. I love that word.
Oh, I like Streeth. Yeah, Streeth, mate. Oh, Streeth.
Oh, struth. You drop your beer. Struth.
Stone the crows, mate.
Stone the crows.
Oh yes. say in England we say stone the crows sometimes as well. There's nothing usual.
I've never seen a stoned crow.
You got to make them stone, Terry.
Ah.
Yeah, you got to stone the crows to make the stone.
Yeah.
I saw the Black Crows in concert back in '96. I'm pretty sure they were all stoned.
What happened to the rocket program? That was still going, wasn't it?
What program?
What were you watching earlier?
Oh,
It's
thanks
over.
for tuning in for this.
That's
First
finished.
launch
Oh,
of 2020 Starlink
It's-
Mission.
It's over.
That's all they do is they launch the rocket, they deploy the satellites, and that's it.
Yeah.
What did he think they were going to do?
Yeah, what do you think they were going to do?
I thought there was like 46 minutes to go or something.
No.
No, that's
That
how
was
long
the time
they
going
take.
forward, not backwards.
I'm just thinking like a flat earther. I'm thinking.
I was
oh,
going to
yeah,
say
yeah,
that you've been
yeah,
around the
yeah.
flatties too long.
I think you make a terrible flat earther.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I don't want to be a flat earther.
No, you don't.
Please,
Well, don't sound like one then.
don't make me.
I'm trying my hardest.
You got to come up with better arguments.
And that's not how we launch the satellites, mate.
Flat Earth Space Program.
We have
slip off.
We have slip off.
Yes. That makes sense. That's why they don't really show you where the rocket goes. That's interesting. Very clever.
That's a nice picture, no name. It's amazing.
Hello, at 32 minutes past the hour. Yeah.
Oh, it's
What's that?
3:36, yeah, in the UK.
Did somebody call me? I couldn't hear.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
What do you want us to call you?
Oh, I thought somebody had said, "Hey, no name," and I was distracted by all the noise in the background.
Oh, okay.
Because people don't know who's who in here.
It's time to call ourselves Terry Davies. Everybody, change your name.
All right.
Yeah.
I've always thought I looked a little bit like a Terry. So.
Oh no, we have to be the Ozzie Perspective. Then that'll really mess with people.
Terry.
I am Terry.
Steve. Oh no, Steve's not here, is he? Sorry. Yeah.
Alan. Where's
No,
Alan?
Alan's not here either.
Alan's
Can't do
not
that
here.
bit today.
We need
No
a Matt.
Alan, no Steve.
We need a Matt.
That's right. That's so funny with Alan. Alan. He's got the perfect name for it.
I can't help continuing to do it. Every time I try to stop it, it's like a nervous tick. Like Alan. And he's like, hello.
Just changed my name to Roxanne Glenn, the globe denier, but I call myself Ozzie Benevolent.
I don't think
There you
Yeah.
go. That's perfect.
Alan.
Alan!
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 Alan.
Alan! Al!
Matt, Matt, Matt.
Alan! 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 Al!
No, that's not
Alan! Alan! Alan!
Steve, that's Steve.
Alan! Steve! 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 Steve!
That's not Alan.
Steve! Steve!
That's
Okay, boys, plankton breakover. Pull your fish fingers out. Come on. We have some scuba divers approaching. Now you know the drill. Everyone into position. Boys, plankton breakover. Pull your fish fingers out. Come on. We have some scuba divers approaching. Now you know the drill. Everyone into position. Okay. 2, 3, 4. Louder, boys, louder. Give me more cello, Roger. Use the gills. Brian, I love it. I love it. You're even scaring me. Louder. Give me Andrew, are you chewing? More cello, Roger. Use the gills. Brian, I love it. I love it. Come on. You're even scaring me. Okay, back into positions. Andrew, are you chewing? 2.
No.
Right, well, I hope you bought enough for everyone.
that's
Come
not
on,
Steve, that
spit
is
it
Alan.
out. Okay, back into
Alan,
positions.
Alan, Al.
And 1,
Alan,
and 2.
Alan,
Alan!
Alan! Oh no, that's not
Did someone
Steve,
just
that is
say
Alan.
my name? Alan! Alan! Al! Hey! Alan! Alan! Alan!
He's
You say
out of
Alan?
control.
Did someone just say my name? Hey! 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 You say Alan?
Hey.
Who's playing it double? That
I
was
don't know. I was trying to work out what's going on here. Something was confusing. That was confusing.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's hilarious.
That is awesome. Use your gills.
I like the
The fire
this-
season started in September. By November,
What?
it was deadly.
What the hell?
Yeah, I was reading that out before.
Bring down the party.
Oh
that
my
we were talking about that about an hour and a half ago.
I know.
He really is going backwards in time.
Soon the rocket will be
I was
launching.
thinking a bit random.
T-5.
Jerry, can you put a link to the clips you just played in the chat for Chris, please?
Oh, I'm crying.
Okay.
Yeah.
I lost my other one.
That was awesome.
Oh no, don't tell me I've lost that one.
So you're on Twitter then, Terry?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter.
Do you have Skype?
I had to go on Twitter. Yeah, I'm on Skype.
Have you added Anthony Riley?
No,
Big
probably
boss.
not.
Big boss man.
I'm not that far down the hole. I have to add all those.
He
people.
calls himself the Big Boss Man, and I changed it to Fat Cunt. Because,
Oi.
Okay.
sorry about that, but it's true.
Yeah.
I changed his name to Fat Cunt.
Oh, stop.
Did he get? Stop saying it.
That's $200 for you.
Where's my date? I've lost my
we have
daytime, nighttime
a
bird.
lady on the panel.
I've lost my daytime.
Let's not
nighttime
monetize,
bird.
so you're not going to lose any revenue.
Oh, Chris, yeah, I'll put in Discord, Chris.
You
For
should
me,
pay.
I've lost my other one. There's that one. Copy link. It's over in Discord.
You
Are
can
you
either
sure that was coffee you made, Terry?
you can either pay in
I
coffee
don't know what I've done.
or Vegemite Skyfly for your problems.
Do you remember when Anthony Riley first came out? He said, "I'm prepared to jump ship."
I'll
if
put
I
it
get
in.
the
I'll put it
evidence."
in. Taking the piss. I've lost my daytime, nighttime video. That's the one I was.
Daytime, nighttime.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad you have lost it.
Yeah, I've lost.
Yeah,
Brian,
that one should be thrown
Brian,
in
we're
the
going to
rubbish
get
bin.
5 or 6 people to jump you like a chocolate cake.
That's right.
Hey Davros, have you seen Simon Dan's takedown of Subaret's map?
No,
I'll have to watch that. I was ready to watch that earlier. I forgot.
Yes.
Oh, it's funny, man. It's
we got
so funny.
we got distracted by Terry and his rocket launch.
Yes. I was going to watch Fight the Flat Earth debate. Some person with the name Wayne Moonshine.
Nighttime.
Oh, that's one of them birds, isn't it?
Yeah. it's
No,
one
it
of
was
them
an
birds.
alligator.
Looks a lot like a giraffe to me.
Nighttime.
Liar.
Daytime. Nighttime. Daytime. Daytime.
I thought you meant the
Nighttime,
Antonio
daytime.
one.
You wanna play? No, you're not. I got an Xbox.
I said earlier to you, Terry, on the other show,
That's a
this
personal
show is
dome.
great. It's so funny.
That's a personal dome
Terry,
right
please,
there.
please don't play the Subarats one, please.
Yeah, please.
Oh
please.
no, I won't play that.
Leave that.
Disturbs me.
Leave that in last year. Leave it in last.
Yeah.
Leave it in the past.
That's history. Yeah.
Yeah. Leave it back there.
If I'm going to play anything, I'll play this.
If you think Terry's show is funny, click like because it's funny.
Oh, the square Earth, the cube Earth. Yeah.
Can you tell me about the cube Earth?
That guy's serious. That guy's serious.
I'm not walking away. I just wanted to see what you got.
Oh, it's that twat.
Interesting.
I know him.
Guy in the costume?
I'm just looking for answers. What do you have to offer?
At least he's got a model, right?
Yeah. Okay. All right. There it is.
Now, does the cube move?
That guy on the left, I know him. I've been on many things.
Yeah, how's that? There you go.
Right? Not sure where it's going yet.
Oh, jeez.
Rubik's Cube.
Hold on, let me show you.
Okay.
Some people are so indoctrinated into flat Earth in the way
It would clearly have edges.
not even thinking
We could
of
That's
shapes.
Nathan Thompson. Look with the hat on back front.
No, it's Jeranism.
Can I register here?
That's even worse.
Nope.
I like to call him
Do you know where I
Januarism.
can do that?
They're over there somewhere. Bye.
Oh, well,
Is
six.
it? Yeah, Jerry.
Carry the
Yeah, it
one.
is.
Yeah. I could see it being true.
So it was enough for me to show that NASA is lying because what you got there? Yeah. So I'm not buying it.
Hey, take it easy.
He just throws it back in there and shakes his head.
Yeah, well, he knows. You know, can't reach them.
That's so funny you have that stuff.
Anyway, it's a dodecahedron Earth. Anyway.
Yeah, sure it is.
Truncated icosahedron. Changed my
No,
mind.
no, just don't argue with me because I'm right.
Changed my mind. Truncated
You're wrong. I'm right.
Truncated.
Dodecahedron.
Truncated.
Eh?
Truncated.
No.
Truncated
No.
icosahedron.
No, it's dodecahedron. I'm right because the reasons.
Truncated.
And God told me
What the
anyway.
hell?
So.
Whatever.
Truncated icosahedron.
No,
Dodecahedron.
no.
Truncated icosahedron. Earth.
Dodecahedron.
It's a bacon Earth.
Truncated.
No, it's
sunny
not.
side of
No.
a egg.
It's not practical to have a bacon Earth.
Search
Everything would
truncated
melt.
icosahedron and prove me wrong. Go on. Do it.
No,
Do it.
you're wrong. There's reasons. I just proved you wrong. There you go. Debunked. I've
Truncated
debunked you.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Debunked you already.
Fair
Stop
enough.
saying it. You've debunked you. You've been debunked.
Okay. You've been debunked.
You lost the argument. Go away.
All right. I lost.
You're just
but
wrong
you can't
by
prove
the
it.
sound of it. Yeah.
I can.
What's this demonstrable level? I know the properties of water. Get you folk.
Oh, wait a minute! I forgot to do something for everyone on the panel.
We need Alan.
Alan.
Alan. So
Alan.
I need to amend this because it's a little bit short. It's just for the guys out there that for when Sheepy talks, we can We can.
Oh, how to speak Kiwi.
Yeah, you have to learn to speak Kiwi. Yeah.
Pigs. What's that? I can't even read it. Pigs.
10, one more
hanging.
than 9.
No, pesticide. Pesticide.
So funny.
Pesticide.
Pesticide.
Pigs.
No, it's pesticide.
Sex.
Suck sex. Half a dozen beers. One less than 7. I like that. Sex. 1 less than 7.
Yeah, that's it.
Suspect. Suspect.
Sorry about this, people. Oh,
Yeah, but have you got
one more than 9.
Oh,
have you got
6
tin
pack.
beers?
6
tin
pack.
beers?
Yeah, 6 pack. Yeah.
Beers. Large savage animal found in the USA.
Beers.
Virgin.
I like mechanic. Mechanic.
Mechanic.
Duffy coat.
Person
Not
that fixes
easy.
cars.
Yeah, that's a mechanic.
Coat.
That's a mechanic.
Mechanic. Yeah. 7 sucks 7.
7 sucks 7.
Slush, marine creatures.
Baggage chucking.
At least this is not Duffy cult.
Yeah.
Who made this list, Terry?
I don't
Fair
know,
hair.
but it needs to
Oh
be
yeah, she's
bigger.
got fair hair.
Bun button.
How do you speak Kiwi? Oh, this is New Zealand.
Button.
Fush.
Ah, been button. Bun button.
You bun button.
Ah, been button.
It is 10.
Fettuccine.
One more than 9.
Oh, been bun button by Mozzie.
Bun button. It's bun button.
Hey.
Say it right. It's fettuccine.
Bun button by Mozzie.
God.
Fush. I
What
like
if-
to go. I like to go fushing.
I like a fashion. I like fush.
I like fushing.
Is
I like
that,
a bit of
is
fush.
that is that similar to do with push?
Nah,
Yeah.
nah. It's push.
Fush.
Oh my God.
I like a bit of fush in my plate.
Fush.
Oh, I can't do it.
There's no such force as push
It's fush.
or pull.
It's fush and shops.
Only in my video.
Fettuccine. Fettuccine.
What's
Fush and shops.
what's begging chucking? I don't know what a begging chucking is.
Baggage checking. Baggage checking. I gotta check my baggage in.
You got to check in your
to leave your
baggage,
suitcase
so
at the end.
my
it's
God.
chucking.
Baggage chicken.
Chemical.
So we know what a
It's where you
mythical
chuck in your
we know what a
baggage.
mythical New Zealand maiden is.
Oh my goodness.
Virgin. What's a virgin? I don't understand that.
It's like
a virgin.
Scottish.
A virgin.
Virgin.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
What,
Yeah.
can't you say virgin?
Fish.
Mythical
Say-
New Zealand
I can
maiden.
say fish. Hey.
Hey,
Fish.
Jamie.
Got any fish?
I've got tin.
Hold on.
I've got tin fish.
Tin fish.
I've got fair hair.
All I
Have
can
you got
say
fair
is
hair?
boom, boom.
Oh, you
My
guys
girlfriend's
are all
got fair
crazy.
hair. Hey.
No
Yes.
evidence.
Maybe.
No. It's all gone quiet.
No, I'm still here breathing.
Okay. Should we put a video on maybe?
Yeah, I was just looking around for it to see if I've got a. Oh yeah, I do have a video actually. I just wanted to make sure people are aware of our 10 commandments.
10 commandments of logic.
Yeah.
Thou shalt not attack a person's character, but argument ad hominem. Thou shalt not misrepresent, exaggerate a person's argument in order to make them easier to attack. Strawman fallacy. Thou shalt not use small numbers to represent the whole. Hasty generalization. Thou shalt not argue thy position by assuming one's premise is true. Begging the question. Thou shalt not claim because something occurred before, it must be the cause. Post Post ho false cause.
Post hoc
Thou
fallacy.
shalt not thou shalt not reduce the argument down to two possibilities, false dichotomy. Thou shalt not argue that because of our ignorance claim that must be true or false.
Yeah, that word.
Ignorant. 8. Thou shalt not lay the burden of proof onto him that is questioning the claim. Burden of proof reversal. Oh yeah, well, we know people that do that a lot. Thou shalt not assume this follows that when it has no logical connection. Non sequitur. Thou shalt not claim that because a premise is popular, therefore it must be true. What's that? Oh, bandwagon fallacy. I haven't heard that one before. Bandwagon fallacy. All right, okay.
Appeal to popularity.
But quite honestly, I don't really care about fallacies.
So if we stick their feet to the fire with these commandments of logic when we're discussing anything to do with flat Earth.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, like, you know, flat Earth, as soon as you ask a question, it's like, oh, this fallacy, that fallacy, whatever. I don't care about your fallacy, just answer the question.
But then if we call them out on a fallacy, they go, oh, we don't, that's just what you use as flat Earth rhetoric. It's like, no, because you've made a fallacious statement, you twat.
Well, here's an idea. Let's just not use fallacies at all.
Yeah, but I like the Texas sharpshooter fallacy.
It's
the cherry picking fallacy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called the Texas sharpshooter.
Why Texas sharpshooter?
Because they cherry pick targeted quotes.
Okay.
So they sharpshoot through a document what it is that suits the narrative without correlation from the rest of the article or document or book.
Wouldn't it be better just to call it cherry picking?
Yeah. Be a lot easier.
Yeah.
So do we all speak Kiwi now?
No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Hey.
What is the name of a big plane? It's your test.
Oh, 767.
No.
Or something.
767.
767.
767. 767. Yeah.
Yeah, 767.
No,
That's
spin
right.
sucks spin.
767. Say it right.
767. Hey.
Yeah. Very good. Very good.
Can I say A at the end of it?
A.
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 That's right, eh?
It's all right, eh?
It's all right.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go back to the Reddit when...
Sorry.
When I got to the airport, I went to the baggage check-in, hey?
Oh, yeah. Baggage chicken? Yeah.
Was that Kentucky Fried Chicken?
No, it's baggage check-in.
It's chicken.
We're checking your baggage.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Baggage chicken.
In the airport, eh? It's in the airport, eh?
Airport.
There you go.
Anyway, people of the globe Earth, I would like to say goodnight to everyone on the panel and everyone in chat. It's 4 o'clock almost 4 o'clock in the morning in the UK, so it's time for me to go to bed. Thank you very much. I've enjoyed it very much. Thank you, Terry, and everyone in the panel.
And next time you spell Ozzie, it's O-Z-Z-I-E.
Yeah, I know I spell it wrong. Doesn't matter.
I never spell it wrong.
See you later.
I'll change it for next time.
Okay, Sky.
I'll see you later.
Guys, see you later.
Have a nice morning, because obviously I realise you're on the other side of the planet, on the other side of the flat plane.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh shit! I can't keep myself.
No, I don't think you will.
So, please don't let the blood go to your head because you're upside down. And I'll see you later.
Okay.
See you later, Sky.
Later.
Have a good night on your slice of the pizza, bruh.
Yeah.
Global Mum's correct. Dick was left off.
All right, let me try to speak Kiwi.
Mm-hmm.
Oi, I've been button. Where's my pesticide?
You're gonna have to work on. You're gonna have to work on it if you're gonna pass as a Kiwi. You know. Peace.
See, I can only sing in a Kiwi accent. I can't talk in a Kiwi accent.
All right, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Britt, you've got it going on. You got to go it on. Not in a gay way, just in a hey man, wanted to say way.
I got no idea what that was.
I have no idea either.
Fly to the Concords. You've got it going on. You never. Oh God, they're only the second best like band in New Zealand right now.
They are hilarious.
Possibly, maybe our only celebrities.
Oh, this is hilarious.
Oh no! I used to be afraid.
I love
I
this.
can't believe you guys haven't heard of Fly to the Concords. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
I've seen the movie.
Started off doing comedy shows, and then
Jerome.
Yeah,
Jerome.
that's the one. Yeah.
I need my pants, Jerome. Where's my pants?
Yeah, very cool.
well, it's spelled Brit, but it's pronounced Brit.
If you're like me, you find it very hard to keep your dick dry. I left my dick unprotected and it was whooped out of shape in no time. I could barely recognise my own dick. Imagine that. Then I discovered Schaefer's New Zealand style dick sealant. The best way to take care of your dick in 3 easy steps. First, wash your dick with soap and water. Then, wait for your dick to dry. Once your dick is clean and dry, paint your dick with Schaefer's dick sealant. I used to be too embarrassed to invite people over to see my dick. But now, my dick's the I even have pictures of my dick. Check out that dick. Send this to my secretary. Barbara always loves to receive my dick pics. After all, summertime is all about spending time on your dick. I'll often have 20 to 30 people on my dick at once. That can really wear your dick out, causing dick splinters and discoloration. But with Schaefer's dick sealant, my dick stays a nice golden brown colour. Who wouldn't want a golden dick? I used to never let children anywhere near my dick. My dick was too dangerous for kids to play on. But it seems like every kid in the neighbourhood's been on my dick this summer, and they've all had a good time. My dick's over 70 years old, but it looks brand new. That's part of the reason all my neighbours are jealous of my dick. Isn't that right, Jim? Yes, you've got a nice dick, okay? His wife is always on my dick, begging me to know the secret of my perfect dick. If you like Schaefer's dick sealant, check out Schaefer's New Zealand style cock. I had a huge hole in my dick, but I fixed it by jamming some cock in it. You'd be surprised how many things you can fix by jamming cock into them. Have an extra large hole in your dick? Try Schaefer's African style cock. Just go to your local home improvement store and ask for the big black cock. Schaefer's New Zealand style dick sealant. Don't put it on your penis.
Oh dear.
That makes me think of like the sweaty balls or the Dickens cider commercials. Those are pretty cute.
Ugh, I don't like this guy.
Oh, don't play this one.
Why not?
Do you want to get an R-rated problem?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he has one strike. I think he's trying to shoot.
I think
for
he
the
already
next
is.
one.
At the moment, this one, I'm not.
Abort.
Well, it talks about Pornhub, Terry.
Oh, okay.
Abort.
But
Maybe
you
I
just talked about Pornhub, Davros, so does that mean we're R-rated now?
No, it's the fact I've seen the video.
Oh, okay.
Ah, fair.
Okay.
Davros, what is your avatar picture?
Well,
Horrifying.
we could be really serious and play Bob the Science Guy for 14 minutes.
Oh, don't you like my aliens?
Aliens.
Oh.
Hang on. Just so Mr. Sheeple. Where did I put it? Here you go, mate. So it's a take on ancient aliens, right?
Right. I'm not saying it's the aliens, but it's the aliens. That's really good. Now I get it. Not so scary anymore.
What did you think it was?
I know what it was, but I've got a little kid in it at the moment, and I thought that poor thing was distressed, but it's not.
Have you watched So Sick 2 then, Davros?
It's very cool.
Ozzie Baller put
Yeah,
it in.
that one's good. So you know that Sir Sick's like a microbiologist or something of the sorts. He works in genetics, right? So he knows a lot about people who make stupid claims about cancer. And that's what he's doing in this video, is he's debunking a dummy. And plus, it's Professor Stick. His dry wit is very funny.
True.
Oh, hang on, that's Sir Sick. You said Professor Stick.
No, Sir Sick.
Not Sir Sick. No, I didn't hear you say Sir Sick. I thought you said Professor Stick. Oh, no, he's
Stick
good.
has music at the beginning, Terry. Just so you know.
Oh no, it's covered by fair use, mate.
Oh, fair dinkum.
Yeah, fair dinkum.
Right then.
Guys, I've done a bit of an oopsie. You see, I finally stopped drinking after New Year's Day. You know, I started on Christmas Day, and, well, to say I'm feeling a little bit rough is an understatement. I feel like I've been pushed down a set of stairs, rolled into the street, got hit by several buses that launched me into a bucket of headaches. I'm gonna need something to help me recover, something to help me heal, but also something that, if needs be, can be smashed over my head to make it all stop.
Hello, my name's Janelle, and this is the second of my introductory videos on crystal healing.
Ah, perfect. Crystal healing. Now, I would have done something on fruit detoxes, but that would involve both effort and consuming a healthy thing, like some kind of animal. I ain't about that. Now do tell us about your magic rocks.
This particular video is about a general overview of how we use crystals in healing. We'll be covering each of the individual ways of using them at a later date.
Oh, yeah, I'll be sure to check out that just as soon as the world has run out of stupid things for me to cover. What's that? That's never ever gonna happen. Oh no! Better get to work bailing out this ship before it sinks into the sea of dumb. Although, I do rather enjoy procrastinating, so whatevs.
Right now, we're just looking at how we use them.
Wait, didn't you just say the same thing twice?
We'll be covering each of the individual ways of using them at a later date. Right now, we're just looking at how we use them.
You actually did. Oh man, this is going to be a fun one, isn't it? Look, I'm sure what you actually meant was like, go into more detail, and if I was just a really nice guy, I would assume that's what you meant and not point out your mistake. But you've clearly edited this video, so no points for that. If you can't fix or hide errors like I'll Oompa Loompas Vagabundas always do, although I am a master of hiding my mistakes, I think you'll all agree.
So first of all, the easiest way is wearing or carrying the crystal.
I'm going to be so goddamn healthy lugging this about.
I know a number of women who tuck them down their bras.
Bras. What do you mean, child?
And men who wear them in their pockets.
Pockets. Told you I'm not childish. I just find clothing hilarious.
I tend to wear mine as in the form of jewelry, pendants.
Wait. Hold the phone. Hang on. Stop for a moment. Put your shirt on and other idioms for stop right there. You can wear shiny rocks as jewelry? That can't be right. No one's ever done that before in the history of ever, right? But quite frankly, I do think it's brilliant. Because I don't know if you know this, but shiny rocks, right, are shiny. So when you think about it, would make excellent jewelry instead of hiding them in your shoes like I do. That's probably why I have a limp. It really hurts.
And you can get crystal spirals that will hold any kind of crystal that you want to put in it.
Will it hold crystallized whiskey?
It looks like
and
a freaking spring.
Where can I get crystallized whiskey? I would look it up myself, but every time I stop working on videos for even a second, I find myself looking at pictures of animals wearing people clothes. Look, he's got a bow tie and a top hat. It's madness.
Particularly the tumblestones, but some of them go up to the size where you can actually wear a point.
A point, eh? I could use one of those. My videos often get off of one. And I just end up back at the Clothermores. That dog's wearing shoes! Oh my god!
We also use crystals in a color therapy type of way.
Colour therapy? Oh god, I'm too afraid to ask. Is this going to be silly? Don't answer that. I don't want to know. But I do want to know, really, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to have a polite discourse about it. Wait, where are you going? I'm kidding, I'm kidding! I'm just going to point and laugh and make unrelated stupid jokes, okay? Like I always do. Get back here, you big dope. I ain't changing nothing, baby. I'm still the man you fell in love with.
So we will use them with the chakras and the colors associated with the chakras.
Oh, I did call it, but it's probably doubly the dumb doing I was expecting. It's not just about colours, it's about the colours of the chakras. You know, that energy crap that your body totally has that's in all bits along your spine or something. I mean, look at that. What does that even mean? There's so many parts of your body that overlap multiple times. We just already know that chakras are not medically useful, like, at all. I mean, please, show me a condition that can be healed with that garbage. But then you toss on shiny rocks. And if they're the same colour, they're extra healy for the thing. What is this, Twister? No, that's probably an old man reference. I need to be hip and all with it. What is this? Puzzle Bobble for the PlayStation 1? Ha! Nailed it.
This means that we can lay stones on directly onto the body of various colors.
Holy crap, it actually is a colour matching game. It's amazing that healing the body is something so very simple. One would think that something so easy that a brain-dead guppy could do it probably wouldn't work. Oh wait.
So this, for example, is a set of chakra crystals, using 2 different crystals for the heart because some people use green, some people use pink for the heart chakra.
Oh, so it doesn't actually matter which one you use. That sounds very scientific. I mean, you can use a green one, or you could use a pink one, or maybe you could use a brown one, because it's a giant load of shit.
Crystals can also be used in feng shui and space clearing.
That's like saying my chocolate teapot can clear thetans and also disprove the moon landing. One useless thing can also do a bunch of other useless and or nonsensical things. But that's all woo, isn't it? Find me a woo that can't be used to do all this amazing stuff, and I'll, I don't know, cover myself in crystals and shout some crazy crap. You know what? I'll even record that just in case, even though the only way I would ever use it is by mistake. But we all know that could never happen, since I'm such a flawless, perfect being.
So keeping the energy of a room or area clear. So you can use them in ways like having a large clear quartz cluster in the room will dissipate any negative energy and move the energy around so it keeps flowing.
So we put the crystal here and then, oh my god, it created a black hole. Get the kids, we need to run!
I've also demonstrated here as part of feng shui using crystals in a grid.
Okay, and what exactly are they doing? I mean, you show me this, but it doesn't appear to be doing anything. I know, energy, and also I know that not everything that does something is visible to the human eye, like radiation and the like, but you know how we know things we can't see are there? We have other ways to detect them. So I would love to know what instrument you use to detect the effect of feng shui. And stop right there. Someone's story about how turning their couch around to face away from the telly and putting the sink on the roof somehow cured their acne is not a way of detecting anything other than dipshits exist. And the actual translation of feng shui into English is that people will believe any nonsense if you dress it up right.
Now, in this particular instance, I've used quartz crystals around the table, but you can use quartz crystals or any other crystals around the meditation cushion where you're seated.
Right, stop. Again, what do these crystals do if they all simultaneously have completely different properties and the exact same properties? That doesn't make any sense. I don't think there's anything out there that even does that. I mean, I could be wrong, but even if I am, I'm still sure that doesn't apply to crystals, but only because the properties you think they all do don't have just doesn't real anyway.
Around your bed, you can use them in the corners of the room, and you can also use them around a larger area such as a house.
Around the house? You seem to be encouraging peeps to obtain just as many goddamn crystals as possible. I wonder why that would be. Oh, look, you sell them. Look at these overpriced. Jesus Christ, how much? 200 quid for a piece of rock. An admittedly pretty piece of rock, but still, I'm in the wrong business. Come one, come all, purchase this sick
Bargain.
brand rock.
Absolute
I
bargain.
just found it outside, but it can do magic stuff. But only if you really believe it works. Otherwise, you weren't open-minded enough. And also because you touch yourself at night that made baby Jesus cry. Probably because you got it in his eyes. The rock. I meant the rock, you sick fuck.
The grounds that your house is in. You can use a number of different crystals. The directions that you have them pointing in will vary the type of energy you get from it. So it
All right, do me a big favour and tell me which way this one is pointing. Or what about this one? How about these? See, you act as if these things have certain definitive characteristics that are basically impossible to tell by either sight or tool. And that's always what bothers me. You people know all these facts about stuff and talk with such authority when even a cursory glance and a second of thought will show that it's nonsense. But lucky for you, so many people will do neither. I guess lucky for me too, since who would I have to make fun out of if everybody actually thought about things and didn't jump to silly conclusions without actually looking into stuff first? Can you imagine the world without such stupidity? Oh. That's right.
It's
it
true.
Would be
it
horrifying.
Would be
include
Yeah, it
energy.
would
It can protect the energy in the area, things like that.
It can do one
Yeah,
thing.
what would
it
we
can
have
do
to
the
argue
literal
about?
opposite. It can do your taxes. It can fly man to the moon. It can blow
Yeah.
up the moon. What did the moon ever do for us anyway? Our taxes? Fat chance it's just a big stupid non-taxes doing space rock. Screw the moon. I'm sorry, I may have lost my train of thought. What were we talking about?
So along with space clearing, you can also use them for protection.
Are we talking like body armor or condoms? Because I got those two confused once and, well, now I have kids. And my buddy will not talk to me anymore because he was like shot. Although no one was getting impregnated while that happened, so you know. Yay.
In addition, there is a form of crystal healing using...
Wait. I hope you aren't about to suggest we drink crystals. I thought that was there to look nice. I mean, kind of weird as decor goes, but, you know, you're like crystal crazy. So I just ignored it, thinking it wasn't anything to do with this. But, well, like I said, you are crystal crazy. So who am I kidding, really?
Gem elixirs or gem essences, crystal waters, they're also known.
Yep, of course you are. I don't know where to start with what a silly idea this is. I mean, what do you even think it does?
Which is charging the water through using crystals.
Nope. And what does that really mean, huh? Water doesn't generally hold energy. I mean, there are ways, but it doesn't tend to involve a big jug of Volvic in the good cut glass, and certainly needs more than chucking in a few shiny pebbles with it. I honestly don't think it should be much to ask of people to back up their claims with something, anything other than, well, I really want you to buy this 300 quid 10 centimetre tall lapis Buddha. I mean, why would you do that when for only 500 you can have this bloody great big Crusader statue? I mean, it's 10 times the size. Imagine the value. No, seriously, I have one for some reason. And if you want to pay £500 for it, you can have it. Bargain.
This is an example using a number of different calcites, but you can use all sorts of different crystals doing it, although I do recommend you understand what you're doing before you start.
And why on earth would that be, sweetheart?
Some crystals, not many, but some can be toxic.
Yeah, and why do you think that any mother fleeper who buys into this crap is actually going to do that research properly or, like, at all? Classic woo, really. Either it does nothing, or what it does is just out and out harmful. And you've managed to cover both ends of that spectrum in one go. I would say I'm impressed, but I'm too busy trying to whiz out a pile of rocks I drank. Look, I wanted to see if it improved my whiskey. It doesn't. But it is still whiskey, and I'm too lazy to strain them out. So what am I going to do? Not drink it?
You don't want to poison yourself.
Hi, I'm Sir Sick. We've not met, clearly.
There are ways of doing it with toxic crystals so as not to poison yourself, but I will cover that at a later time.
Hey, at least it does something. So it's one step higher than homeopathy. Oh, and for that one moron who's now going to tell me that actually this random home remedy does work. No, you idiot. That's not homeopathy. Homeopathy does not mean all alternative medicines, and the sooner you stop thinking that, the sooner I can stop calling you stupid. Seriously, someone like that always shows up. It's infuriating.
In the meantime, stick to quartzes, rose quartz, amethyst, citrine, clear quartz or smoky quartz, or any of the calcites, agates, or jaspers should be fine if you want to use them directly in water.
Or, and I know it's a crazy idea, but hear me out, how about don't stick hunks of rock in your drinking water, then you'll know for sure you aren't getting poisoned by them, and you'll have the added bonus of having the exact same amount of health benefits. It's win-win. I know. I am the smart artist. Thank you.
I personally use a control crystal, which means I use a crystal I've attuned myself to, and it has been attuned with me to direct the energy and direct the way in which I work.
Nope, I am done. You let rocks dictate the way you work. That is just madness. You're clearly in league with them, aren't you? If you aren't an actual rock, your very self. This whole scheme is to get people to buy your overpriced stones and get them into every house. Just when we aren't expecting it, boom! Off-world mining colony. Use the humans to dig up more of you filthy rock kind, and then move on to the next planet until the universe is just filled with giant rocks. I mean, they are everywhere. You might even live on one. I'm scared.
Do you want pretty okay clothes at fairly alright prices? Then head on over to Sir Six Merch Store. There you can buy sick brand merch, and not a lot else. Who needs food, water, or accommodation when you can have a hoodie?
That's just his advertising at the end.
Oh, but it's funny, Terry.
So I've come up with a business plan where I resell bags of sugar and salt for hundreds of dollars and call it crystal healing. What do you guys think? They're crystals.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah? Yeah? What do you think?
It's already been done, mate.
Damn it.
You put it in your fucking coffee.
Yeah, but I mean, they don't resell it for hundreds of dollars and put like Buddhas on the wrapper.
Actually, I think you need to look at some Middle Eastern sugar packets, mate.
Ooh, good call. I will buy Middle Eastern sugar packets, resell them in America, and they will have potent Eastern mystical healing powers because.
Okay, so go to your nearest Middle East or Asian grocer and have a look at their sugar packets.
I'm in Alabama, man. We don't have stuff like that. What are you talking about? We have Taco Bell. And,
I have a question. Do you have a population of Asians or Muslims or some other East Asian variety?
I just told you I'm in Alabama. No.
So yes, you do. Yes, you do. I know Alabama has cultural diversity, mate.
Oh, not in my part of Alabama, no. Sorry.
Oh, what? You mean your house?
No, I mean like literally the part of the state that I live in. Like the northern part of the state gets all the culture, and we're just kind of like, pine trees and swamp down here. Like the northern part of the state has Huntsville and NASA and all that good stuff. Down here we have pine trees.
Motoring revolution in this country.
Terry?
Yeah?
We're going to have to teach you to turn off autoplay on YouTube.
No, not the autoplay, the mute.
No, because that's what. So the moment you open the tab, it auto plays whatever you've got set up.
Oh,
yeah, you could turn that. You could turn that off.
I forgot. I did discover something that has not been put on the internet yet. The other day, what was that?
Yes,
yeah,
I know.
Johansson in a Princess Leia slave costume. That has not been put on the internet, so I win the internet.
I just want to address, it brings the attention for the other people that are outside of Australia. Back in the late 80s, a certain person thought that they could do something with crystals to a car, and thought it might help with its performance. I'll just play the video.
In this country. Almost 40 years later, this Holden derivative promises to start a full-scale war. It's the HDT Director, reflecting, as the publicists point out, the inspiration and soul of Peter Brock.
I have a motor car which you can probably see circulating behind me, which is capable of gaining us some much-earned export dollars, and Holdens are trying to stop me, and I'm a pretty determined sort of person, and I'm pressing on. They said to me, if you, Peter Brock, announce this car at the end of this week, we'll withdraw all support for you. Well, I've gone ahead and I've announced it.
Brock and Holden's motor company have been down a few rough roads together since they formed an association 19 years ago. The long-haired kid from Eltham in Victoria has been synonymous with the General's products in touring car competition since 1969. He's won the Bathurst Hardy Classic 8 times in an assortment of 6- and 8-cylinder General Motors equipment, and has always been seen as the White Knight by the company's marketing department.
Real issue is I'm an Australian, I've got some cars here I manufacture, they are fantastic motor cars, I'm proud of them, and we can export them.
When Peter Brock and John Harvey formed Holden Dealer Team Special Vehicles 7 years ago, it was a winner from day one. A special GM dealer network processed orders for the Brock modified cars. The vehicles came straight from the assembly line to HDT headquarters in Port Melbourne, where they were given the Brock treatment and then delivered to the dealers. The sceptics, though, claim Peter Perfect was just a frontman for the General. His HDT operation as autonomous as the Pope to the Vatican.
I can tell you that's just not so. Certainly we have to get along with each other. I'm good for General Motors are good for me, and as long as we look at it that way, that's fine. But I can absolutely assure you that GM might back me with a bit of kind and might pat me on the back occasionally and say, well, keep that, you know, what you're doing is good stuff, and we agree with it. But we have arguments. Sometimes they want to do something one way, I want to do it another, and the backing I have might be support in kind, but certainly not financial.
The marriage between Brock and General Motors began to hit a stormy patch or two when the Aussie sports hero and his friend Eric Dowker released this little gadget, the DB Energy Polarizer. The device is supposed to cure many ills in the normal road car. Let's face it, for $480 it should do something. Holden's Motor Company put it another way. They said the Polarizer had no technical merit. Undeterred, Brock and Dowker pressed ahead with the release of their new prototype car, the GM-based Brock Director, and against the wishes of Holden. HMC claim it wanted more time to test and evaluate the car before going public. At 5:30 on Friday afternoon, February 20th, Holden's Motor Company terminated its business relationship with Peter Brock and the HDT. A few days ago, John Harvey and Alan Moffat followed suit.
I suppose, from the sports point of view, it will be odd to see him not on the grid for sure, but Peter's in control of his own destiny, and he's chosen this particular way, and I find it rather odd, but that's his business, and I wish him well in his future.
I think it'll be fairly difficult for Peter to get the whole act together again. It's obviously going to be extremely hard to motivate the boys now that half the team seem to have gone their own way. But Peter's a very, very strong-willed character, and I'm sure he'll get it all together.
I've never seen such a large deck of cards come down so quickly. It's a shame, really, from the credibility of a lot of us that are in the sport. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that will be amazed the way it's all happened, but it has, and we've all been instrumental in our own undoing from time to time, and I guess he's got to look at himself, but I hope that he does the rest of the championship and stays in motorsport.
1987 started so well for Peter Brock and the mobile Holden dealer team. The two Commodores beat the field into submission to take the Wellington 500 street race for the second successive year. Brock crossing the line just ahead of teammate John Harvey. The future at the moment, though, looks bleak. Whether the rift between Holden's Motor Company and HDT can be healed is...
Well, there's no point in showing it any further because it's only just going into more of the story. I was hoping it'd have a bit more to do with the actual idea that he had that a polarizer addition to a car would help the car's performance, and it was based off crystals. It was his idea, but his wife was into the crystals as well, so that's going back a few years too, all that. Hoping to find an actual one to do about it more.
Sounds like he was getting close to my research on the diffrasionator.
What are you doing?
Oops. I'm only just muting somebody that's got an open mic background.
Oh, sorry.
I did have an interview with him where it was actually the explanation of what this was meant to do, like the pitch for how would a crystal addition, a little box that you could screw to the firewall of your car, attach it to the system, and make the car perform better. Like, we could see the technical side of how it wouldn't work, but it was all a spiritual type effect that you'd think you'd get. Well, that was the road he was taking, and it came out. So you've still got an original one of those cars that had that installed in it. They're a collectible item. Still to this day, people think crystals are somewhat got an additional energy or whatever in them that they can get out of it. Oh. I think it's a bit quiet here at the moment. Might finish off for now.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I hear you perfect.
Okay. Well, I grew up in Flagstaff, Arizona, which is close to Sedona, Arizona, which is like the mecca for all this crystal healing nonsense. So I would go there quite a bit, but you get the feeling for why when you're there, because the nature there is just really, really amazing. It's beautiful. The red rocks and everything really makes you feel like, oh yeah, maybe I'm in some kind of a crystal vortex or something. And that's what they say. They say that this town is like the center of the vortex that everybody's tapping into.
So just the visualization of them, because of what they are, people would be drawn to that. It'd be and then also the atmosphere in the air from other people. That's just a typical psychological effect, I think. Oh, we'll finish up here anyway. We've been going for a while. That's a cat.
You're a cat.
No, that's a cat.
This is
No,
Gizzy.
G'day, Gizzy. Hey, Gizzy looks like my cat, Grumpy.
Oh.
Aliens. I say it's aliens.
Can you put some stunt growth stuff into a cat, because I prefer them when they're kittens.
Really? Like, are you the island of Dr. Moreau?
Well, when they get older, they lose their cuteness and inquisitive nature and all that sort of
This
stuff.
one's gonna be crazy.
Hey guys, there's this dumbass which is actually right the hand over on Daily Boom Chat, right? He reckons all particles have to have mass.
Oh yeah, that was great.
I mean, I asked him, I said, do you have evidence that photons have mass? Nothing. You can't give me anything. He just keeps going, particles are defined as a small amount of matter.
But strictly speaking, photons aren't particles. Strictly speaking.
Yeah,
right?
but that's what we classify them as, because like everything's classified as a particle, whether it's energy or mass.
Okay,
So
true.
yeah, because you can have energetic particles that have absolutely no mass whatsoever, like a gluon.
Yeah.
He rage
Or a
quit
photon.
twice. He rage quit twice. Demonic.
Yeah. I know. He's just he's a dick, just complete dick.
Well, he also has a grade school idea what particles even are. I mean, he thinks that they're like little pebbles or something, and particles are just kind of shorthand for a wave function.
But it's not the particle causing the wave function. It's the energy that causes the wave function, not the particle itself.
I understand, but I mean,
yeah.
particles don't really exist the way some people think they exist. They're not little. I think they think of them as little discrete packets of mass and matter, like they're literally little Legos or something. I don't know. I had one day try to explain to me his concept of particles, and it just had me cracking up.
Yeah, particles are defined. A small amount of matter. A small amount of matter would have mass. Well, no, that is not particularly true, because do you see a radio wave with any mass? But it's technically classified
Well, some of
as
them
matter.
heavy metal radio stations are, massive.
Well,
Right, gents, I'm going to have to say goodnight. I'm falling asleep here, gents.
I'm trying to finish up here. Thanks, guys.
Good night, all.
For the panel. I'll catch you all later.
Thanks, Terry.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later, everybody. Thanks for
Good
coming.
night.
Night.
Night, everybody. Night, John Boy.